All right, we live.
Peace and blessings, y'all. Welcome to the GOAT James Kingdom Show with B. Lee and A. Johnny. As y'all know, we go live every Sunday, noon Eastern Time, to talk about the greatest players to play the game of basketball and the NBA and the greatness of the NBA and also the GOAT debate. So thank you for joining us because we are the GOAT James Kingdom platform. I'm A. Johnny the Exposer. We have our co-host here, Brandon the sports analyst. And today's topic and today's show, we're going to discuss the No Bull Tour, okay, which is a speaking engagement with Scotty Pippen, Horace Grant, and Luke Longley, which is starting in I guess it started on Friday, if I'm correct, and they are
Yeah,
in
sorry.
Australia. Yeah, they are in Australia, but we all know Michael Jordan fans are up at arms because Michael Jordan's teammates seem to be very, very vocal about what they were doing in the 90s. So we're going to have a great discussion about that. We're going to bring up some clips to discuss that. And we're also going to continue the conversation from last week regarding how Michael Jordan fans and Michael Jordan in general hates LeBron James. So we have Travis here, and we'll have other people up in the panel. So you guys go ahead and hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. Thank you for joining us in GOAT James Kingdom. We see you guys there in the chat. So you guys, we go ahead and hit that like button. We are on Facebook, like we always tell you guys. We're also on TikTok, Instagram. We're also on Discord as well. So thank you for joining us as we'll get the show started. So Brandon, I know you're doing some things in the background. What do you think of this whole No Bulls tour that's about to happen?
One of the things that we talked about before is how Jordan, like everyone loved the series. It was about Jordan and everything. So if it was just labeled of a Michael Jordan documentary or something, I don't think it would have been too much of a problem. But I guess the whole point of it was to be about the Bulls, and you see all the Bull teammates are upset. Like you don't see anyone coming to Jordan, defense. And I guess there's a reason for that, that they're not coming to his defense. I'm guess a lot of players, his teammates, didn't really like the series. They didn't really feel that they were appreciated. I know some, did, Rodman and Steve Kerr maybe, but it's a lot that didn't have Jordan back when Pippen came out and said those things. But when you look at it and you see how Jordan was as a player, as a leader, it's not crazy to think that his teammates would not like the series. It was supposed to be about, I guess, the last title, and it was not about the last title. Even when Pippen got upset, there's a few things on there that I felt shouldn't been in there about Pippen, but I actually thought he gave Pippen a lot of props. I thought he gave most of his teammates a lot of props, but then again, they're feeling a certain way for a reason. So
Mm-hmm. That's true. It's true. We got Craig in the building. Shout out to Craig. Thank you for joining us. So Craig, we're gonna talk the No Bulls tour. Travis, you heard what Brandon said. What do you think of it, Travis? What do you think of this? Jordan's teammates going out to talk about. In reality, they're not doing that. So hold on, let's stop this. They are really just promoting the NBL because that's why Scotty is out there. They just decided to do this speaking engagement to have it, but they know people are going to ask them questions about it, and they claim they're going to be fully open and non-discreet about anything and say whatever they feel. So obviously, somebody's going to ask about the Bulls dynasty, and they're going to tell the truth. So what do you think is going to happen there, Travis, during this little engagement that they have?
I mean, I can't actually. I mean, I actually can't wait to see like a full session of like what kind of questions they field and like what they actually say. But especially like Longley, who I mean, I respect him, but let's be honest, like he got carried to three rings. Like he's he better not have anything like super disparaging to say otherwise. But I mean, I think in a lot of ways, yeah, it's just kind of a publicity stunt. They're like, oh, okay, cool, we're relevant again because this generated a lot of controversy, and Pippen was out there wilding for like a long time because of whatever reason. But I can't wait to see it. It should be entertaining regardless, and we'll see what they say.
True, true, true. So Craig, what do you think? Are you anticipating anything about this speaking engagement from Scottie Pippen and the Bulls guys?
I ain't about to sit there and hear them complain how they won championship. I ain't about to sit there and do that shit. I'd rather like There's more losers than winners. What the fuck are you complaining about?
Complaining about not getting their respect. That's what they complain about.
They got the rings.
Nobody
So it's
cares about
so
rings.
it's all about the rings. How you can say it's all about the rings when Travis just said Luke Longley should just be beneficial to Jordan for the rings? Like he had nothing
He
to do
should
with
be.
just,
If you put Luke Longley on any other team, they winning the championship.
Believe Luke Lowly thinks they would not have won without him. I'm pretty
ex-
sure.
exactly. And so does Scottie Pippen. That's why Scottie Pippen's going on tour with him.
Well, we all know
Yes,
he
they
wouldn't win
wouldn't have
without Scottie
won.
Pippen.
They wouldn't have won without each other. Together,
No,
they
no,
made
I
it
no.
perfect.
Scottie Pippen believes the same thing we're saying, that he believes Luke Longley contributed to them winning as well. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
he
So
did.
does Scottie. Yeah.
But he wasn't the main contributor. There's 100%. Everybody's goal. I would give him 2% compared to, in between plays. He got 2% generated towards the championship.
He's 2% low fat milk. That's what he is. That's what he is.
Pippen is 63%.
Oh my God! Hey King. Oh damn. So wait a minute. He's 63%. What's Michael? What's Michael?
Michael is 70%.
That's more than 100, Craig. Your math ain't mathing right now.
No, I'm saying no. I'm just saying.
I'm thinking he's talking about outside of Michael Jordan.
Outside of Michael Jordan. I got you. Well, again, I do believe Michael Jordan, and somewhat, if we're gonna say he was in control of the whole documentary, they did praise his teammates to a certain degree. I believe they just went into things they didn't have to go into, like Rodman going to Vegas. Pippen contract negotiations. None of that had to do with the Last Dance. So, John, thanks for joining the panel, man. We appreciate you as well. Thank you, sir. We're talking the No Bulls tour, and Jordan fans are nervous. They're basically dismissing anything. They're basically saying none of this matters. They don't really care, but they're still in arms about it because it's on the other side of the world, and they're still trying to discredit these guys. So, what do you think about this No Bulls tour? Well, it's not No Bulls. It's No Bull, which is a subliminal message. It's a no bull tour, meaning singular, not plural.
It's a message for Michael Jordan fans. It's a message to Michael Jordan that maybe they should have been more involved in the Last Dance doc. They should have been able to edit some of the stuff. They knew Jordan was going to be over it, and they got approved back in 2016. If you want to know when they got approved, it was right after the Cavs beat Golden State. Jordan knew that conversation was coming. And also, that's when LeBron became the GOAT to me, is in 2016. Jordan knew the conversation was coming. Everybody knew the conversation was coming. But Jordan was the main contributor to the championship Bulls. Everybody knows that. Scotty is huge, too.
Yeah, that's a great point you brought up, John. Do you think that documentary was supposed to come out prior to 2016, but Michael Jordan was the only one stopping it from coming out?
Yes, Jordan was the only one who stopped it. Jordan didn't. I don't think Jordan wanted it, but I think Jordan is a part of this the GOAT conversation as well, and he heard the footsteps coming. Jordan is a competitor, regardless of what people think on and off the court. And he saw the conversation coming, and it got approved right after the Cavs won. If you pay attention, Jordan makes things happen around everything LeBron does. He shows LeBron, I'm still that big.
Yeah, he's still keeping his name relevant. Like Brandon always says that Jordan was never really talked about as far as being the GOAT prior to LeBron being inserted into the GOAT debate. The late 2000s, no one was even saying it because it was just accepted. But it wasn't until LeBron was being brought up that it became a thing to bring up Jordan's name. Shout out to everybody again in the comments. We see everybody here, man. Shout out to Twin Man. We see you, Twin Man. Peace out to Zero. Thanks, Zero, for joining us. Rebranding. We see you, Rebranding. Blue Boat. I see you, Blue Boat. Shout out to you. Shout out to A Weezy Bang and the Bang Sports and Entertainment. Bro, we gotta get with each other. We close to that 40K. We got to get to that point. We got to get to that point.
At least we got one honest LeBron fan on this panel. He said LeBron became the GOAT after he won a championship. The championships don't make you great. They can make you the GOAT, but they can't make you great.
Yeah, man. But you know what?
Johnny, can I say one thing before we start the broadcast?
If you're talking about last night, no.
Okay.
Yeah. If you want to talk about last night, you can go on FYF Sports Debate Discord. We're still talking about it then. If you want to talk about what happened last night where I debated Herm from FYF Sports Debate, we can have that conversation later. But we're not going to have that conversation right now, John. I appreciate it. We can have that conversation shortly. We're going to get to it. But I wanted to bring up the clip of the Jordan fans because Travis and Craig are the MJ delegates here, and they spoke on some things that Chris Broussard and Rob Parker spoke on. We can all agree that Chris Broussard and Rob Parker is a Michael Jordan podcast, right? That's a Michael Jordan fan podcast. They carry that logic. So if you could bring up the first clip, Brandon, we're gonna show how Michael Jordan fans are really nervous and scared for this whole documentary, and they're trying to knock it down. So it's in the background if you see it, Brandon. Yeah. All right. So here we go. Let's listen.
Well, now, Scotty Pippen, Luke Longley, Horace Grant are telling their side of the story. In an upcoming speaking engagement tour in Australia.
Oh, yeah, that's the right place for him. No, they knew where to go. Exactly. Longley's from there, so he's going to draw people.
Right. It kicks off tomorrow night in Tasmania. It's called the No Bull Tour, where they will share their thoughts on what Horace Grant calls a BS documentary and tell their side of the story on the last day.
They had two options. They could have gone to hell or to Australia.
Wow.
Chris.
Okay, so that's the first clip. You heard what the man said. They can go to hell or go to Australia, meaning that no one cares about these guys. For some reason, I find that odd because we are told we discredit LeBron James' teammates. We act like they don't exist. We like to just push them aside. And you guys are letting Michael Jordan fans tell us that Scottie Pippen, Horace Grant should be going to hell or go to Australia and talk because no one wants to hear what they have to say.
Literally everybody's saying it. Gilbert Arenas said the same thing. He don't want to hear it. Nobody wants to.
Gilbert Arenas has
you
Michael
don't
as
got that highlighted. What Gilbert Arenas literally said the same thing.
Gilbert Arenas has Michael as the GOAT. Like he said, there's no, and I'm gonna prove to you why he said it because there's a mythology around Michael Jordan that nobody wants to acknowledge that we people are tired of talking about. That's what y'all don't fail to realize. That you guys don't want nobody to talk about Michael Jordan outside how you view Michael Jordan. How do you know they're going to say anything to slander Michael Jordan in the first place? How do we know that?
They're just going to talk about their importance on their team. You know?
Does that slander Jordan by stating how important they are?
It is because they actually slander Pippen for being great.
He said everything about the
Pippen for being great.
Yeah, he's saying it's a BS documentary. Is that slandering Michael Jordan?
He said everything that in it was a lie.
Is that slandering Michael Jordan?
If y'all give it credit for Jordan, see, this is what I mean. Y'all want to give him credit for something, but then y'all want to say it's not towards him. Literally, y'all just said the podcast is about Jordan. So, of course, if they say the documentary is about Jordan and they think it's trash, of course it's going to say it's slander because he approved it.
Okay, but that's the point. Was the documentary supposed to be about Michael Jordan? Is that why he's calling it a BS
Listen,
thing?
the documentary in my eyes was about something that led up to 98. So they highlighted everything that happened up until 98. They showed you when he got drafted, when his teammates came about, how all that happened to lead up to 98. 98 didn't happen because of 97. It happened because of 84 when all the players came together. It wasn't just a 1 year thing. That culminated to what happened in 98. They got tired of playing together.
What does 85 have to do with 98?
They showed you what was going on to lead up to 98. They showed you what Jordan did by himself. They showed you when Pippen came in there. They showed you when they finally started winning. They showed you the animosity between, not getting paid and all that. That led up to 98.
But that's what I'm saying. The teammates doesn't agree that that's their story.
Well, they shouldn't have been in it. They shouldn't have been in the documentary.
Craig is right. They did approve. The players had to approve some of this stuff.
How you gonna get mad at something you participated in?
They approved the rights of the video. They approved of the rights of the videos that were recorded during that season.
I literally sat there and heard Horace Grant talk on that documentary.
Okay, I'm glad
I
that you
heard
said that.
Pippen talk
Let's-
on that documentary.
Okay,
I
I'm glad
heard
that you.
Luke Longley talk on that documentary.
Okay,
so
I'm-
why is it now the documentary is bullshit? You should have said
Okay.
no. Take me out of it if you thought at the time.
Okay, I'm glad that you said that because, like I said, you sound just like Rob Parker. So I got another
How?
clip for you. Okay, I got another clip for you here. Go ahead, Brandon. If you get a chance, bring this clip up here when I bring it up here because I'm going to show you. You said how? It's very easy. Like I said, we are GOAT James Kingdom.
That's like me being on this podcast and saying, "Yo,
we
take
don't
me
talk
off the show."
just to talk. We don't talk just to talk. We actually show proof. We actually have it. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's listen to actually Rob Parker, a.k.a. Craig King.
With Scottie Pippen being involved.
Hold on, let me rewind.
He was agree, but here's the problem I have with Scottie Pippen being involved. He was on the documentary, Chris. They sat down. Wasn't great. I thought it great. Yeah, they could have pushed back. Scotty saw it before it was released. Right, and then he goes like, "Oh, well, I didn't get paid, dude. You could have said when they sat you down, what's my cut? What am I getting for doing this? Oh, you're not getting paid. Well, then I'm not doing it. Do it without me. Right? Okay, do it without me. And it's not the same if Scottie Pippen wasn't in it. Would you agree? Well, yeah, no, they needed. I mean, they needed Scottie Pippen. And they could have done it. Luke Longley, sit down. Nobody cares about what you have to say. I don't care if it's in Australia. And Horace Grant, you're right, Chris. I think Horace was in it too. I think so. You should have spoke out then. I don't even understand what this is about. I mean, Longley needs to thank his lucky stars that he was on the team with Michael.
They don't even remember who was on the documentary or not. They don't even know Scottie Pippen and them was in it. They were questioning, wasn't Scottie in it? You guys don't know how this works. When you sit down for an interview, they sit down and do an interview with you. They don't use your whole interview in the documentary. They take tidbits of what you said to fit what they wanted the narrative to be for a 10-hour documentary. That's why Scottie Pippen, Horace Grant, and them are upset because they took those guys' words to fit Jordan's narrative when that's not why they sat down to do an interview. The interview was made to talk about the Chicago Bulls, not Michael Jordan.
So you mean to tell me they did an interview, they said, okay, we're going to release this documentary, and they released it without them seeing that documentary before it was released to the world?
They saw it, and once they saw it, they were upset. They can't stop it from coming out. They can't stop it no more. That's it. It's already made. It's cut, ready to go. That's a screening. They don't have
so they knew it was coming out, so they never said nothing saying, hey, there's going to be a bullshit documentary coming out. I don't like the way it's coming out.
You don't know that till you see it. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. Because when they said
they had to see it before they release it.
No, they didn't.
That's what I'm asking. You just said
no, Craig. If they saw it, it was at a screening, meaning it was already done. They're not gonna go back and say, "Well, that's a bullshit documentary. Don't let it out." You can't do it. It's already done.
No, I'm not saying let it. If it's coming, say, "Hey, there's a bullshit documentary coming out." I don't agree to it. I sat down for one thing, and this is what they putting on. None of that happened. So
they did do that.
Kept that.
No, they did as soon as the documentary came out. When do you think they did the pre-screening? Before 2020?
What do you think? What do you think they had all that video and stuff? What do you think they'll say? Okay, next week we're gonna release this documentary. Next week.
Do you think they saw all the edits from the?
They didn't see the edit. They didn't see the documentary until the documentary was done. That's the point. They didn't see it till the documentary was done and put together. That's when they saw how their clips were taken out of context and put out of place to make Michael Jordan seem like he was everything, and they were just there.
They told you that.
Yes,
from the interview they said they thought it was about the championship Bulls, not about Michael Jordan.
I have Scottie Pippen on. I have the Scottie Pippen on Stacey King's show. The most elaborate Scottie Pippen has been about this whole topic is when he went on Stacey King's show. None of y'all went there and heard what Scottie Pippen said. You guys always just make up shit, but never have nothing to back it up. These are the guys that are saying what they're saying. I'm going off of their words, and you're telling me I'm wrong. They're telling you they were upset once they saw the documentary.
I'm just saying that if they didn't want to do that, they shouldn't have done the interview then. If
but when they chose,
they know how this guy.
They didn't know. They
were tricked. Craig, Scottie Pippen said to Stacey King that the way they did the documentary was off. The way they proposed it to the team, that they were making a team documentary. That's not what they did. That's the point. That's how they got those guys to do an interview.
I'm talking about the original footage in '98.
No, that's not what they're talking about. They're talking about the interview of them sitting down like they did with Horace Grant, like they did with Scottie Pippen in the actual documentary. They interviewed them recently. to talk
I'm
about
talking about
98.
the footage from 98. That's what I'm talking about. They didn't know what was going to happen.
No, the footage from 98 had nothing to do with what Jordan did. They didn't use the footage from 98. They used all kind of other extra stuff. They didn't ask Scottie Pippen about his contract negotiation issues. He didn't speak on that during the documentary. That much. I mean, what did they? They didn't speak on none of the stuff other than what Michael Jordan wanted to talk about. It was all predicated. Michael Jordan had final say so. Nobody else did.
No, I'm saying that they wasn't going. The original footage was for 98. The interviews was decades later. So meaning that footage sat there.
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about.
But they're not upset about the footage. They're upset about the documentary.
What are you talking about, Craig? I don't.
No, that's what I'm saying.
No, what I'm saying is you're saying about the footage was from 98. The interviews is from recent.
Yes.
So what happened from 98 till now? It's to when them start to do the interviews for this documentary.
Because when they asked him to sit down and do these interviews, the premise of doing these interviews was to talk about a documentary that was supposed to be about the Bulls. When they gave those interviews, no, not 90, about to be 98, about the Last Dance, about those footages.
So in other words, the footage from 98, they was going to say we're going to hold this footage from 98 and we're going to interview y'all decades later about what happened in 98.
They couldn't release that footage because Michael Jordan never signed off on it till 2016. And that's when they started to do interviews about it, because that's when it was available to actually create a documentary. Because if Michael Jordan doesn't sign off on those
how
tapes,
if it's a Bulls thing? How it was supposed to be
a thought it was a Bulls thing. That's what they thought. It was a Bulls thing. But
no, I'm saying the footage from 98 was
because Michael Jordan is a brand. You can't take a picture of Michael Jordan. You cannot. That's why he doesn't take pictures and sign autographs.
No, I'm
like
saying
you guys don't understand this.
I thought this was sanctioned by Chicago Bulls. That's why they're saying it was.
That's what the team thought, but it was really a documentary for Michael. That's what we keep trying to tell you.
Let me tell y'all how powerful Michael Jordan is. I ain't gonna name the restaurant. Is a grocery store in Chicago. They use his image.
About Jules?
Dominic's.
Dominic's, okay.
Dominic's used his image. Jordan sued them. Dominic's is out of business.
You can't use Jordan's likeness.
Any celebrity would sue. Any celebrity would sue.
No, Jordan has more sway and more power under that.
But any celebrity would sue if somebody's making money off their likeness without them getting a cut.
Right?
No,
I mean, what the hell?
No, not to that extent.
If somebody take this podcast and start using it and making money off it without y'all, I guarantee y'all would sue.
Again, it wasn't for money. Jordan wasn't doing this because he wasn't getting paid enough money. Jordan just didn't want to do the documentary. He didn't think it was necessary.
I'm talking about what he's saying about the restaurant.
No, because Michael Jordan, there's a lot of stuff in that documentary that could have made Jordan look bad. That's why he had to approve the final say-so, to make sure he didn't look bad at all. He is very image conscious. You guys don't know this about Michael Jordan. That's the point.
I don't study him when I don't think about him to care what he does with his personal life.
They didn't put in the documentary Jordan didn't have a left hand. They didn't put that in the documentary. Jordan didn't have a left hand.
What do you mean? They put his father's death in the documentary. They put his gambling in the documentary. What do you mean?
No, they didn't. What did they put in his? What gambling thing did they put in this documentary? Did they say Jordan was getting suspended because of gambling issues? Did they put his interview with Omar
Did it come out that he got suspended? Is there any official document to say he got suspended for him to put in a documentary?
And was there any footage or any evidence that Phil Krause kicked Phil Jackson out of off the team? No, but they still said it. There was a lot of things that were said that were not supposed to be said. Again, I got more clips because Jordan fans have narratives that have been being debunked for so long. They've been saying for so long. Now that they're being debunked, they don't know what to do, because y'all are gonna say it's us because we're haters, but y'all can't call Scottie Pippen a hater. You can't call none of those guys haters. They're telling you their side of the story, and you don't want to hear it. That's not our fault that you guys don't want to hear what they have to say, because there's a lot of people who actually want to hear what they have to say, legitimately. Like I don't get it. I just don't get it. Travis, you've been quiet, bro. What you got on this?
I mean, I kind of agree with Craig a little bit, but I mean, it's all, like I said, I really want to see like what their first sit down is going to look like, because I mean, yeah, I think the documentary, I mean, I didn't see a lot of it like that would be, oh, it's 4 years later. I'm still like super mad about it, and this was super inflammatory. And blah, blah, blah. I mean, I do feel like it was a little bit skewed toward just making Michael Jordan to be... I mean, obviously everybody knows his greatness, but I think it could have highlighted the contributions of the team a little bit more. And like there were some things I think that could have been upsetting, but I mean, I think this is at the end of the day, this is just kind of a publicity grab, and I have no problem hearing what they want to say. Like I'm not going to ridicule them or anything like that, but it's just as long as it's not anything ridiculous. And either way, I don't really care about this stuff like when it's trying to move the needle in the GOAT debate for me because at the end of the day, like it doesn't affect my argument, but I still really want to hear what they're going to say like when they're sitting there and
it affects mine. He the GOAT because he won with teammates that didn't like him.
See what I'm saying? The
if I got carried the ring,
that's what it all. That's what it.
See again, but when we say LeBron carried 3 different teams to championships, we're disrespecting Kyrie, we're disrespecting Love, we're disrespecting Wade, we're disrespecting AD, we're disrespecting we're disrespecting Dwight Howard. All these guys. All these guys are wild.
Ray Allen play with LeBron like playing with LeBron.
If I was,
you're never going to see this You're never going to see a documentary like this about LeBron.
Yeah, because he couldn't carry him.
If I was Horace Grant, I'd be.
So only players who carry a team. So I find it weird. You guys are incredible when it comes to Jordan, bro.
If I was Horace Grant, I'd be stoked that I got carried to like rings by not only Jordan but Shaq and Kobe as well. Like incredible. I'd be appreciative.
The fact that you guys think a player on the basketball court during a whole season, working with the team, learning that the team plays, learning their scouting report, doing their job, has really just anybody could have.
Well, they plumbers anyway, according to y'all. They plumbers and electricians who play basketball on a part-time basis.
We done with the
now
80s.
Don't use your argument. Don't get mad at your argument.
Okay, let's bring up the last Michael Jordan fan comment because obviously Craig is on 100 right now, going to 1,000. So we're gonna
y'all call them plumbers and they get mad when we treat them like plumbers.
I believe
y'all. Who is y'all?
Listen, I know. Listen,
Who is y'all?
I know they put words on my mouth. We never called nobody plumbers. I believe Chris Broussard.
Y'all literally have it in your post on
No, yeah, Goat James. None of those things have a Goat James Kingdom logo on it. Those are
expansion.
LeBron fans.
What the?
Yeah, no, we talk about expansion teams is real.
It's expansion era. It's expansion era.
That's real.
So what that mean? What do I mean? The play.
That means the league diluted.
Right?
The league was diluted. That means the talent got spread out, so teams couldn't build teams the same way. It's an expansion era. It's that simple.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. It's true.
Let's let the most objective. Let's let the most objective Michael Jordan fan speak in the media, which is Chris Broussard. Brandon and I believe he's the most objective. Although when it comes to Jordan, he can't find his footing.
When it comes to Jordan and LeBron, he switches his tune.
Yeah, exactly. But he's a smart brother. I like Chris Broussard. Let's let him speak.
Chris, I'm leaving it alone. But they're going to Australia. I mean, look, I don't know that will fly. Is anybody going to see that in America? No. I mean, look, what are you going to sit there and badmouth Michael Jordan and you think somebody? Now again, Australia, because Longley's from there. That was smart, but you do that in America, and obviously Jordan's huge all over the world, but. I get it. I don't know. I wasn't there, right? We don't know. I'm sure there's some truth to what they're saying. But people aren't really trying to hear you just badmouth Michael. I mean, I'm sorry. That's the status he's reached. Right? He's like mythical status almost. I agree.
So he just said it. He's basically saying nobody wants to hear anybody take away Michael Jordan's mythological status. That it might be some truth that they're going to tell us, but nobody wants to hear you bash Jordan or slander Jordan, which I'm still trying to figure out what exactly you guys think they're going to say to slander Michael Jordan. So put that in the comments. I want y'all to tell us in the comments, what do you think they will say that's going to be a slander to Michael Jordan? Because I don't understand what they mean by that. And a matter of fact, why do they even have to talk about Michael Jordan? If nobody don't ask a question about Michael Jordan, do you guys think they're going to say anything about Michael Jordan?
Well, they only talk about one voice.
So why they call it no bull tour? Why they don't call it
that was a subliminal message. That's why, because no bull.
They're basketball players.
Yeah, but basically what they're telling you is that this is a tour that's not about one bull. No bull. It's not no bull. It's about the Bulls. So you're gonna ask us questions. We're gonna tell you the truth about the Bulls. We're not gonna talk about no bull. We're not gonna talk about the one bull. That's what they're saying. At least that's what I got. Travis, you was gonna say something?
Well, I mean, you might be right, but I don't think there's a chance in hell that for one thing, I think that they're going to have rapid fire Michael Jordan questions being launched at them from whatever audience they're in, and I mean, the slander can come in multiple forms, whether it's like, hey, he wasn't good, or hey, we were the real reason that he was able, whatever. Like I said, I'm really interested in like seeing like their first little shindig or sit down, whatever. But I think I said I think Scottie Pippen has been full of shit for again the last few years, and especially in his stupid ass book. Again, Pippen was again. I think he's a little bit underrated, but there's no effing way they do anything without Mike. I mean, as soon as he comes out and gives him his flowers, then we can talk. But until then, just be grateful that your ass was carried, dude, because that's what happened. And I'll argue
Jordan
anyone
fans
to that
have
point.
no respect for his teammates.
Fuck Pippen.
You
dude.
know, one of the things is no one wants to hear anything negative about Michael Jordan, but they always have negative things to say about LeBron every single day. Even in year 21, it's all negative stuff about LeBron.
I love
They
LeBron.
can never appreciate the greatness of LeBron James. Like they're still talking about 2011 and 2024. So that's how I mean, bring it up. LeBron Jordan got swept in the first round.
Well,
It's
people
like,
are still talking about
why are you even
95.
bringing this up? Like, why are you even bringing this up? Like, but it's perfectly fine to talk about LeBron James in a negative light every single day. I just don't understand.
Sports talk. Come on here and
Like I
say that.
said, Jordan
We'll have a
fans are the
discussion.
biggest hypocrites in sports. Period. They're just the biggest hypocrites. Like they're saying that LeBron can never be better than Jordan. Jordan is 6-0, but none of them have John Havlicek over Jordan. They always talk about rings, but none of them have Bill Russell as the GOAT.
Let me ask you a
Like
question, then.
they're the biggest hypocrites in all of sports. Go
Let me
ahead.
ask you one. Let me
Travis.
ask. So, in NBA history, has there been, or I can name three, just that I could argue for statistically, but can you argue for a player or group of players who were both that you could argue were both top 10 offensively and defensively, just on top of your head?
Can I name some of them?
Yeah, that you
Or
could make
can
an
I?
argument
Is
for
there?
statistically,
Four other guys.
or
Yeah.
anybody.
Yeah, the guys that are in the top five.
Are you talking about in a season or all time?
All
All
time
time.
that you could argue was either was both a top 5 or top 10 offensive and defensive player that you could back
Yeah.
up the stat.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
If we legitimately again,
Sure.
you guys don't like Bill Russell offensively, but Bill Russell is offensively one of the greatest centers of all time. He doesn't have to score 30 points per game to be a great center offensively. So he was great on the defensive side. You have Wilt Chamberlain, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and LeBron James. Even if you want to take Bill Russell out of it, you have Kareem, Wilt, and LeBron. They all
But Bill
factor
Russell
in.
was top 10 when he retired in scoring.
I
I
know,
mean, you got
I
Hakeem
know.
Olajuwon too. You got Hakeem Olajuwon too.
So
You think
LeBron
you
is not
think Hakeem
top 10
Olajuwon's a
defensively.
top 10 offensive player of all time?
I mean, he's pretty good offensively. He was top 10 in scoring for a while.
The three players that you can objectively say that are top 10, and again, you can use stats to back this up on both sides of the ball.
You missed
are-
Kobe. You missed Kobe.
Oh yeah,
It's
we can
not
put Kobe in there. Why
Yeah,
not?
you missed
Kobe's not good offense and
Kobe's
defense. He's not top 10.
defensive player.
He's not top 10
Well,
offense.
why not?
Why not?
Why isn't Kobe Bryant not top 10 all defense?
Don't bring stats. Don't use stats.
Why would I use stats?
Yeah. No. Why is Kobe not? Tell me.
Because he was overrated defensively. He never sniffed a defensive analytic in top 5 ever. He has a negative box plus minus defensive. Again, he's never led in steals or blocks. Again, he is, if anything, he's overrated. He's a fringe top 10 player of all
Okay,
time.
all right. Okay, I get it.
So
I
the
get
three
it. Okay,
players-
now, okay,
the
go
three players
name the three players.
The three players I can argue for statistically that were good at, or that were top 10 in both are Mike, Kareem, and Wilt. Okay, you can argue that they are top 10 on both sides of the ball, and they can use stats to do that. Okay,
No stats
And so-
for LeBron on defense.
no, top 10 defender of all time, LeBron. No, doesn't even stiff top 15.
Wow.
I can
Okay,
easily do-
hold up, Travis. Who's the all-time leader in steals in a postseason?
Okay,
Don't bring up
that's-
stats.
Those are
No.
okay?
Who's the all-time leader in defensive rebounds in the postseason?
Doesn't matter.
Okay, what player in NBA history is top 10 in rebounds, steals, and blocks in the postseason?
So
What
I can
player?
pull up a bunch of.
No. Who's the one player? Who's the one player?
You're talking about LeBron, right? Okay.
LeBron.
So let's go.
Okay. So that sets him apart from everybody in the history of NBA defensively. Next, who's number one in the postseason in points?
Oh, LeBron's the top 10 of my list.
LeBron James. Okay. Who's in the top five in points and assists in the postseason?
LeBron again.
So that sets him
LeBron
apart from
James.
everybody in the history of the game in the postseason. Right?
Number one in points,
Right.
number two in
That
assists.
sets him apart. That sets him apart
It
to
does not set
anybody
him
in the
apart.
postseason. All right.
Because
So
in every
let's go to the regular season. Who's number one in points? We know that's LeBron. Who's in the top five in points and assists? That's LeBron. That's offense. That sets him apart to anybody in the history of the game. And
So LeBron,
there's
in all
only
those categories you
I
mentioned,
know. I understand. There's only two players who's in the top 10 in steals and defensive rebounds in the regular season, and that's LeBron James and Hakeem Olajuwon. So
game?
that sets LeBron apart
He
from
said per game.
everybody.
So
Everybody.
LeBron, in all those categories you mentioned, I can name. If I pull them up, I guarantee you LeBron isn't even top 10 per game in any of those that you mentioned.
But that doesn't
He's
mean
top
he's
10
not
all
top 10
time.
all time.
He's top 10 all time. He's top 10 all time. That sets him apart.
Okay,
That
so-
sets him apart
So is
than
John Stockton
everybody
the
in the
greatest
history of
defender
the
of all
game.
time?
That sets him apart. There's no
Is John
such
Stockton the
thing as
best
that.
defender of all
We can
time?
only look at the stats. Who?
Is John Stockton the
is John
greatest
Stockton-
defender of all time?
Why would John Stockton be the greatest defender of all
He
time?
leads all time in steals, so he's the best, right?
We didn't say LeBron's the greatest defender of all time. We said he's top
We
10.
didn't say he's the best.
He's not top 10.
I said
Yes, we gave you a
John
bunch of
Stockton-
categories he's top
John
10 in.
Stockton steals sets him apart from everybody
I
in the
can name,
history of
I
the
can name
game.
9 players right now who are better defensively than off the top of my head than
Okay,
LeBron.
go.
Okay, Bill Russell, Hakeem, Wilt Chamberlain, Dennis Rodman. We see Garnett.
None
We
of Dennis
already
Rodman's
discussed
stats. We
Dennis
already
Rodman.
proved that. None of
LeBron
Dennis Rodman's
blows
stats
him
by
out the water.
averages
We
or
blow him out the
totals
water.
blows him out the
Blows
water.
him out the water.
Nothing.
Blows
Let
him
no
out.
stats.
Blows him out.
Blows
Next.
him out.
Next.
Gary
Next.
Go is Rodman.
Kawhi Leonard,
Gary
Tim
Payton. LeBron
Duncan.
blows him out. LeBron blows Gary Payton out too. Next.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does.
I
Okay.
can pull it up. I can pull it up for you.
You
if
just
you
gonna
wanna
use
see it
steals
again.
per game? Just steals per game?
I can
That's
pull
it.
it up again.
No, wait.
Nick
Do you think he
Kimmey,
averages? You think he averages more
Kareem.
blocks and more defensive rebounds than LeBron? Gary Payton. So his steals per game is all you're gonna use.
No, I can pull up defensive win shares per game. I can
His
pull
defensive
up,
win shares are not gonna. Gary Payton's not gonna be up there. LeBron James is the best defensive win share player that's not a big man. No one else is better than him as far as not being a power forward or a center.
Come on, Travis. You're looking bad up here. Come on, next.
Let's
Next.
see.
You
David
named 3
Robinson,
players. You named 3
Michael
players.
Jordan. I already said Hakeem.
Yes.
Giannis is better defensively.
I would give you those. Okay, that's 5.
Okay.
Sidney Moncrief was better.
Nope.
Oh
Nope.
my
Next.
let's see
Next.
here.
Jesus.
No,
Christ.
next.
Tony
Jesus
Allen's
Christ.
better.
Nope.
Whoa.
Next.
Yo,
Nope. Nope.
yo,
Next.
you reaching,
Next.
Travis.
Bruce
Travis
Bowen's
Next.
reaching.
better.
Nope.
Bruce-
Next.
Hey, I just named. Hey, those are all players I can argue.
You're
for.
naming players, but the stats and the accolades do not back it up. Next.
Well, Bruce Bowen has 8 all defensive selections, so you're telling me his 8 all defensive selections versus LeBron's
But
6
you
makes it
said
better?
Kobe's do not count. All defensive team shit that don't count. So next.
That's
You
true.
already said Kobe's don't count. You already said Kobe don't count.
That's
Next.
true because Kobe has 12, so because Kobe's stats don't make him
12
good,
and
so-
9 all defensive first teams.
Yeah,
Next.
that's true.
Next.
That's true.
I'm waiting.
The
I'm waiting.
argument
You
is,
name
like,
5.
you have to argue
You name
that
5.
he's a top 10 defender of all time. By what metric are you using? Just totals? That's all you have.
NBA
No, you
statistics.
can't use that for Bruce Bowen. This is what I'm saying. Bruce's stats don't say he's top 10. So his all defensive selections can't make him that, just like Kobe can't. So he's not top 10.
I didn't say he's top 10. I just said he's better than LeBron.
Statistically, that's better than LeBron James.
No, you gotta give us a top 10. So far, you got 5 guys.
No, hold on, Travis. Bruce Bowen's do statistically, and Tony Allen statistically, that's better than LeBron James. Since we can't use all defensive teams.
So they have higher. So I'm going to use, let's say, Tony Allen here. I'm going to pull up his stats here because I was looking at him last night.
Brandon, put the link up too, because we got some detractors here. We want some folks to come up here and try to defend this idea LeBron's not a great defender when the stats say so and the accolades say so, because 6 all defensive selections is top 10 in NBA history as well. It's not like there's that many people with all defensive selections. Y'all keep acting like LeBron doesn't have the actual accolades and stats to be a great defender. You guys are using your eye test, and you've been talking to too many Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan fans, and this is the problem with the actual basketball world. This is why GOAT James Kingdom exists, because you guys don't want to accept anything for LeBron. Matter of fact, we shouldn't even have to use the stats to show you that LeBron's a top 10 defender. Why do we have to go to stats? Nobody does that for any other player. But we have to go to stats. Y'all make us go to stats because y'all gonna tell
Because
us
that's
we
because
need to.
they use what LeBron James has done in year 2021 to 2024 to show how LeBron James played basketball. That's what they use. But
So
yes,
what are
you said
Tony Allen's
Tony
numbers?
Allen. You said Tony Allen.
Tony Allen.
Come on.
Let's look up Tony Allen's numbers. Come on, bring him up. Tony Allen. Let's look up this guy who played 14 NBA seasons. Let's look him up. He only averaged 1.4 steals per game, which is equal to LeBron. He averages less blocks than LeBron for his NBA career. He averages more fouls than LeBron for his career. So that means he fouls more. He's made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 all defensive teams equal to LeBron James. What are we using to say Tony Allen is a better defender than LeBron James? Kobe Bryant's words?
I mean, I think he was more fundamentally sound. He has more steals per game.
No, he doesn't. It's
Or-
1.4
Or
for
not more
LeBron.
steals per game. He has.
Exactly. He doesn't have
but-
nothing. He doesn't
I
have
mean,
nothing statistically.
He has nothing.
How can you have all
That's
those
like I
styles
said.
and be
That's like I
fundamentally
said.
sound?
He has nothing. That's like I said. He has nothing. Nothing, Travis. You're
This
just
guy
going
has
by
been-
what LeBron
this guy-
James
hold on,
did
wait.
the last 3 seasons.
Oh wait. Tony Allen's been in the league for 15 years. He was only top 20 in defensive win shares once, and he was 15. He was only top, top 10 in defensive box plus minus 3 times in his career. Okay, then he was in defensive rating. He was only in the top 20 3 times in his career. Where is this stat that makes him such a great player? Now in 2015 and 17, he was number 1 in steals percentage in NBA.
There you go.
I mean,
He said,
Tony Allen was a great defender. But come on, let's not act like he's a greater defender than LeBron James.
As per usual, we're getting on topic. I never said that I said a lot of players. I never said they're like top 10. I'm saying LeBron, all time, isn't a top 10 defender of all time.
What Jordan is?
Yes.
But how?
Yeah, hold on.
That's
How
what-
is
hold
Trevor?
wait.
Hold on. Whoever that is, hold on. Whoever you guys,
You guys are not going to challenge.
do it.
You guys are
Yeah.
not going to challenge Travis. We're going to handle Travis. You guys going to get a chance to speak. Travis is good. He's an MJ delegate. Let him be the MJ delegate. Okay. They're nervous, guys. Listen, this no bull tour got them on edge. They gotta scramble. It's fine. Because remember, we're not going to talk stats no more. Because stats don't work. You guys don't like stats. Stats are too much. LeBron James stats are too much for you guys. Don't ask us to bring up stats when we say shit about LeBron. He's a top 10 defender. Explain how LeBron James is not a top 10 defender by guarding every position on the field. He can block shots. He can play the perimeter. He can play the post. How is he not a top 10 defender of all time? So let's start with you, Sturdy, because you came up first. Peace, and thank you for joining the panel. Y'all know who Ace 30 is. So we done tailed it off. We're supposed to be talking about the No Bull Tour, but you joined because I seen you in the comments. What is it about LeBron that doesn't make him a top 10 defender all time?
It's not so much about LeBron. At his best, he's a transcendent defender. The thing is, he just saying he's not top because he's not top 10 don't mean he's not a great defender. He's not top 10 because there's at least 10 guys that are greater defensively than him, that provide a better defensive impact than him. Guys like Tim Duncan, Bill Russell, Chamberlain, Ben Wallace, Scotty Pippen, and Hold on, 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
KG, fuck, hold on. I'm trying to find my list. My bad. I apologize to everybody. KG, Kawhi,
Robinson.
Rodman, David Robinson, and Hakeem.
Rodman's not it. Rodman don't count.
So basically, all you're naming is defensive big men that you're saying that are better defenders than LeBron James. That's
exactly what
the majority of your list, right?
Well, yeah, majority of the list is going to be that because in the game of basketball, controlling the rim, controlling the paint is the most impactful way to control defense. That's what it is. That's one reason anyway.
But you didn't get to 10. You got to 8. Let's let rebrand and go. Good job, Sturdy. We appreciate you, bro. But
wait, I did. Hold on. I didn't say 10. I didn't say 10. I thought I really.
At 8. You stopped at 8.
Hakeem was 8. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. They didn't count certain guys. They didn't count certain guys.
So which one did he say?
No, we didn't count
again?
Rodman. Rodman don't count. We proved because all the stats doesn't say Rodman's at.
No, but that's the thing. That's the thing. We all know from understanding basketball, right? Even there are stats that track certain actions defensively, but stats alone is not a way. Is not the only way to depict how impactful a player is defensively,
I
especially during the
agree.
defensive side of the ball.
We agree, and that's why we say LeBron's a top 10 defender. Because beyond his stats, what he does on the basketball court, the fact that he's still a good interior defender, meaning he's elite in the interior, he's also elite as a perimeter defender. He's elite in both phases of defense in basketball. And there's no other player in NBA history.
That's not many players who
there's
do
no other player in NBA who can do that.
in the game. And
No.
who's going to tell you your plays while you're on the court?
Well, his thing. Versatility alone does not make you more greater impactful defender than another person. Is more nuanced than that. Yeah, versatility alone.
No. It's not just.
Once again, when I said Hakeem,
sturdy. I said elite. So it's not just because he's versatile.
He's
elite at both. He's elite versatile. He's not just capable of blocking your shot. You have to worry about LeBron when you're going to the rim. He's not just capable of guarding you when you have the ball on the perimeter. LeBron could literally stand in front of you and keep you from getting to your spot. You have to worry about LeBron if he sits in his chair. So LeBron is elite in both phases of defense, which would make there's no other player you can say can do that in NBA history. Not one.
No, even in that case, like I said, being unique, being that way does not make you automatically greater than another defender. For example, I didn't hear any pushback when I said Hakeem. Hakeem's not nowhere near an elite perimeter defender. However, you guys understand the premise of what Hakeem did defensively, brought more defensive, not only impact, but value to his situations and teams. That's why there was no pushback against that. So understanding that concept, you can see
Hakeem is one of the few defenders that we know can shut down the 4 and the 5.
Matter of fact, he's the only one with 3,000 blocks and 2,000 steals.
No, exactly. But
and 10,000 rebounds. He is officially a top 10 player. We would never argue him not being a top 10 player.
Hey, Johnny. But I said Hakeem is nowhere near an elite perimeter defender because of the obvious reason fact that he's a center. You guys said it yourself, right? He shut down the 3 and the 4 position, but the 3, 2, 1, no. But just because he's not as versatile in terms of that aspect, you guys understand the premise and concept that he is a more impactful defender. The reasons why is because, like you guys mentioned,
we all agree Hakeem is a top 10 defender, so there's no argument with that.
Well, it sounds like because we ain't never seen.
No, there's multiple guys. No, it's just the concept. It's just the concept. There's multiple guys.
What he's trying to say is that because LeBron is versatile, that doesn't mean he's a better defender than Bill Russell, than Wilt Chamberlain, than Tim Duncan, than Hakeem Olajuwon, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, which none of y'all mentioned Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
I didn't even get to it.
I know. Those 5 guys, though, are big men. And that's what Brandon was basically saying, that once you get outside of big men, if you're going to add anybody who plays perimeter defense, LeBron's there. There's not too many players that play better perimeter defense.
Yeah, if you want to say LeBron's the top 10 perimeter defender at his best, then yeah, you have an argument for that. But I'm saying
for his career.
I'm saying if you include bigs, unfortunately, he does not fall in the top 10 all time. That's what I'm saying.
No, I'm saying that there's not
if we're
3
just
or
using
4.
big man,
there's not 3 or 4 perimeter players you're going to put in front of LeBron. You're going to put
Scotty
Pippen.
If you want, you can say
Scotty Pippen.
Definitely Scotty Pippen.
You're going to put Scotty Pippen in front of him, right? That's what I would agree. You use Kawhi Leonard. I don't think Kawhi Leonard, as far as
I don't think Kawhi Leonard belongs.
Kawhi Leonard's not that guy. I wouldn't put Kawhi Leonard.
We agree to disagree.
Okay, I got you, right? Then who else? You're going to say Michael Jordan's a better perimeter defender than LeBron?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Okay, so you don't have Jordan in the top 10 then? Am I correct? Outside LeBron
No.
He's out. So your top 10.
I don't have Jordan top 10 perimeter.
So majority of your top 10, from what I can tell, is really just big men, because outside of Scottie Pippen and Kawhi Leonard, everybody else was either power.
No, I don't have Kawhi Leonard specifically in the top 10. I was just naming players that were better. I did say Kawhi, but my premise more so like players that was better than LeBron defensively.
All right. Well, you did a better job than last night, so let's let Rebranding go up and show up here.
That's nice. Oh, I shouldn't have voted for you. That what you saying?
No, you know
okay.
what? No. Let's 30. I ain't gonna lie. I didn't want to bring it up, but I thought you did vote for me, but someone told me you didn't vote for me. That's what I thought.
I did. Hey Johnny, I was literally the only person on the panel that voted for you.
That's what I thought. That's fine. Rebranding. Shout out to you. You didn't vote for me, so sir.
Oh man, listen, hey, listen. Wait, hold on. Let me just explain, bro. Listen,
No, you
I've
you
already
did
said
enough
it.
explaining last night.
You gonna be good.
No, Rebrandon.
Let's keep moving
Let's
on.
keep it moving.
Let's keep
You
moving
explained
on.
yourself well
Come on.
last night.
No,
I
for
heard
sure,
everything
for
you guys
sure.
said. I heard all you guys said. It was fun. It's nothing personal, bro. I had fun last night. Trust
Oh
me.
no, for sure, for sure. You did great last night too.
Come on, y'all. Let's
Go ahead.
So let's
keep it
go.
moving.
So let's
Keep
go.
it moving.
Let's go. Okay, so do you in disagreement that LeBron's not a top 10 defender of all time, career-wise?
I've never really thought about it honestly, but if we including bigs in it, I wouldn't feel disrespected if people didn't include him. But if we remove the bigs and you say he's not top 10, like, yeah, nah, you out.
Okay. All right, so basically, let's get this correct. So we know it's Bill Russell. We have Hakeem Olajuwon, Tim Duncan. We have Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I believe you said not Dikembe. Okay. All right, so Dikembe, Ben Wallace, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who else can we bring into the? Oh, you said Kevin Garnett. That's another big man. Is there any other ones that I'm missing here, guys? That's 8 so far.
Jordan, for
Tim
sure.
Duncan.
No,
Tim
Duncan. No, I said Duncan.
You said Duncan.
I'm just trying to figure out how Jordan's top 10 all time and Pippen wouldn't be.
I'll explain it to you.
No, hold on, Travis. You're gonna get a chance, Travis. Travis is ready. Look at Travis. Travis is ready. Get on, y'all. Get him, Travis. I got you.
think KG was a better team defender than individual defender.
It was both.
All right. Well,
He was great. No, he was a great defender. I'm not going to argue. He's one of the great defenders
I
of
just
all
believe
time.
he was a better team.
So we have 8 official big men. So we're not going to go with Bobby Jones or any one of those guys from the past that we're done
You could
with.
say Chris Paul, man, 6-time steals leader.
No, we're talking big men.
Nah.
Travis, stay on
big
point.
men
Travis,
only?
big men. We're trying to figure out because the big
Alonzo
men
Mourning?
seem to. Because I
You
agree,
got Ben
the
Wallace?
rim protectors. I said Ben Wallace. Again, it's Tim Duncan, Wilt Chamberlain, Bill Russell, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Hakeem. Top 5. Then I had Dikembe, Ben Wallace, and KG.
You could probably put Kevin McHale up there.
No, hell no.
Hey, well, hold on. Would y'all put AD in there already or not?
80 top
one day,
20.
though. One
day, maybe.
Okay.
Well, he's
David Robinson.
He's better than LeBron. He's better than LeBron, but I'm not gonna say he's top 10.
David Robinson.
Can we put David Robinson in?
What about
David
Dwight
Robinson,
Howard? Dwight
Patrick
Howard?
Ewing?
He got a conversation.
No, not Patrick.
Howard.
Dwight.
I think
All
we
right,
had
Dwight
a
Howard.
conversation about Dwight.
So Dwight, that's 10. So that's 10 centers or 10 big men that we can legitimately say we all would say is better than LeBron. Is that what we're trying to say?
Yeah.
1000%.
Better.
Defensively, yes.
guard and big man.
That's it.
Defensively, yes.
Better impact.
No, not just better big men, like better defensive impact on the game.
Yeah, exactly. Measurable
Okay.
impact.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna let Travis explain why Jordan's top 10. We're not gonna rebuttal him because we want to let Twin Man, Blue Boat, and Boycott get their chance to speak. You guys okay with that? You guys are cool with this, right? Right?
Yeah, for sure. Hey, listen, if you got to shoot me to bring some more people up too, I'm cool with that.
No, yeah, we good for right now. Again, if anybody wants to join the panel, the link is in the panel. But right now, we got some good guys here. We know you guys, and you guys understand what we do here in Goat James Kingdom. So let's again, we're trying to have a great conversation. So Travis, you was put on the spot. Explain how Jordan's a top 10 defender because you just see the 10 guys he has to be better than. He has to be better than one of them.
Okay.
So go ahead.
So
go ahead.
Okay, so Jordan, and this is gonna be kind of weird because it's gonna be juxtaposing to like we're talking about the big men, but Jordan, one of only 2 players in league history, again, like I said the other day, to lead his position in defensive win shares at least 8 times. The other is Bill Russell. He's one of only 2 players in NBA history to actually register in top 5 in blocks and steals at his position. The other is Hakeem Olajuwon for their career per game. Okay, he's top 25 in total defensive win shares. Again, he ranks higher than LeBron James and many of these other people in defensive win shares per game. Again, when you break it down, again, he's top 5 in steals all time. He's number 4 in steals per game. Again, now he has obviously beyond the defensive win shares beyond the all-time defensive team selections, all that. We're ignoring that. Again, he led the league in, I believe, defensive win shares twice. And he was again, he has a DPOY to his name as well. He's one of only 2 players to have, I believe, or 3 players now to have the 200 blocks, 200 steals, 100 block season. I believe Hakeem and Scotty were the only ones that do that, if I'm not mistaken. Now, all of that is to say, okay, that alone gets you into a top 10 defensive statistically, because that entire resume can't be touched or surpassed by many people, at least not all the people that we talked about. You talked about a lot of these big men, they'll exceed him in what? They'll exceed him in blocks, probably. Some of them might beat him in defensive win shares, I'm seeing here. Yes. But as far as the totality of your defensive resume, including the media and fan voted or the media voted ones that I didn't even mention, again, that is a top 10 defensive accolade and achievement resume of all time, statistically speaking. Okay, now you can't really argue that anyone else, as far as a non-big man, has that totality of a resume. Okay, especially when you go by their position.
Ooh.
Is there anything, Travis? Is there anything like?
No, study. No, please. We got to keep it going. We got to keep it going. So y'all heard what Travis said. This is what I'm gonna do for you, Travis, because you said this twice before. And like I always tell people, we like stats, and we would like stats that are factual. Can you please show us where you found out that Michael Jordan led shooting guards in defensive win shares more time than any other shooting guard for their team? Because I believe that's what you said, correct?
For the position.
For the position, right? So that means any shooting guard on any team, Jordan had the highest amount of seasons leading his team in defensive win shares, correct?
Okay, so as far as any shooting guards, right? As far as their position goes, any position ever.
Matter of fact, forget it. Don't explain it. Just please tell us where you found it. Put it in the chat or send it to us in Facebook, y'all. So let's move on.
I'll look it up because I actually it wasn't one place I had to look it up.
All right, I got you. All right, so Twin Man, thank you for being patient.
All right, well, I'm gonna tell Travis one thing again. We use all time for LeBron, not by position. Okay, go ahead, Twin Man.
LeBron did it 4 times, by the way.
Oh, his position is harder. They got more defenders in his position.
What position does LeBron play again? So we can be clear.
Everything.
Okay,
everything.
I just
everything.
That's it.
LeBron's the top 10 center of all time.
That's why he leads all time in a lot of things.
Everything.
All right, Twin Man.
So what up, Twin Man? So Twin Man, we were talking the No Bulls tour. I don't know if you want to talk about that or you want to talk about LeBron's defensive position ranking. The floor is yours, sir.
I'm gonna give a little touch on all of it. So
be quick, please.
I think it's amazing. I think it's amazing how they're disrespecting these players, these all-time great Bulls players, who, in my opinion, helped Jordan win championships, and without them, Jordan wouldn't have championships. Because we really forgetting what Jordan's record was before Scotty got there, and we're really forgetting what that team looked like before they actually built a team around Jordan. Jordan couldn't carry anybody. He couldn't, I guess, raise the ceiling or the floor for those teams because he had a lot of losing seasons and a lot of first-round exits. So I think it's amazing.
Hey, Twin Man. Let me ask you a question. How many seasons above 500 do Jordan have without Pippen?
I believe it's 0.
How many times did Jordan got out of the first round without Scottie Pippen?
I believe it's 0.
How many titles have Jordan won without Scottie Pippen?
That would be 0.
Okay, did LeBron James ever win without Dwayne Wade?
He sure did.
Okay, what about Kyrie Irving?
Sure did. Actually, how many times? I got a question for you. Lee, I have a question for you. I have a question for you. How many times Kyrie get to the playoffs? How many times did Kyrie get to the playoffs before LeBron James got there?
I believe that was 0.
I mean, so the notion, it's not a bag. See, Travis, I don't even want to touch on your ridiculous defensive bullshit. I'm gonna come to that later.
Do it.
But let me hurry up because everybody else
No, that's what Friday Night Exposure is for. None of you show up to challenge each other for Friday night. Don't do it on Sunday. Let's go and continue the conversation.
That's what I said. I'm gonna keep
Let's
going.
continue the conversation. Go ahead.
I'm gonna keep going. So they want to diminish what these players who literally played next to Michael Jordan, what they have to say, because again, Jordan has this mythical aura around him, and if the bubbles popped, the only thing they can do is attack. You can't call them liars. You can't say they making shit up. They was there. So to sit here and diminish what they're saying is literally ridiculous. So that's that. This notion that LeBron James isn't a top 10 defensive player outside of the big man position, because I was listening to the conversation, so I'm going to touch on it briefly. Outside of the big man position, you're not going to name too many players better than LeBron James on defense. Now, I'll give you Kareem. I'm going to give you Kareem. I'm going to give you Wilt. I'm going to give you Tim Duncan. I'll give you Olajuwon. I'm probably going to miss one, and I'll give you Bill Russell. I'll give you those 5. But I can make an argument for that other half of that 5 why LeBron can be over them in the top 10. Outside of the top 5, LeBron can be a top 10 defender in the league all time. Because again, we're not talking a season. We're not talking about what you do per game. I don't care what you're doing per 48. None of that shit matters when you're talking all time. You're talking a complete career. So we need to get off this notion that you can only talk about per game and what they did in the season. If all that is accumulated in the all-time accumulative stat that they've done. So it just gets annoying to hear that. Then this notion that Michael Jordan is top 10 because of what he did at his position. Okay, who's better than LeBron at his position? All time.
Only Scotty Pippen.
I can make an argument. No,
Scotty for sure.
I
get it.
Starting, if we went off a peak, if we just went off of, like you said, at the peak, maybe you could say Kawhi Leonard.
But I don't think
but I don't think Kawhi Leonard for the duration of his career is a better defender than LeBron. That's just my take.
Well, in general, because y'all gonna go with the longevity.
He been washed since 2019 for real on defense, but niggas never.
Nah. Rebranded this year. He been playing elite defense, bro. I don't know what to tell you, bro.
Let's stop. Let me land my plane real quick. Okay. Let's stop diminishing these players who actually was there in '98 when this documentary was the biggest propaganda piece to fluff and glaze Michael Jordan ever. That's what that was all about. They were supposed to be talking about '98. They brought up everything under the sun to throw everybody else under the bus to make Michael Jordan look good. That's why these players have something to say. Why are you talking about Scottie Pippen and his contract negotiation? Why are you trying to talk shit about Horace Grant? Why you he diminishes his own teammates, and people are fluffing him for it.
No, it's called truth, sir. Michael was telling the truth. Yeah. Mike tells the truth. Everybody else slanders. So let's let Blue Boat come in right quick.
Also, and that's why they say after you watch this documentary, no one will say LeBron James is the GOAT because it was just about Jordan.
Yeah, exactly. And another thing, when they say Michael Jordan never claimed he was the GOAT, that's a lie because he spent 10-hour documentary telling us he's the GOAT. So, Blue Boat, you heard the conversation. You've been for a while. What is your take on what we're talking about?
That? Did he say that, or you just assuming?
Yeah, because he approved it.
Y'all
said that.
Did he say it?
I'm going off of what y'all said.
Everybody else.
Yo, what's going on, fellas?
And all of a sudden, you assuming that's what it is.
No, because that's what y'all said.
He said it before. Yeah, he's documented.
But y'all say the documentary proves his GOAT status. But go ahead, Blue.
All I'm saying is,
hey, what's going on, fellas? I appreciate the panel and everything. It's a lot to soak in as far as that whole last dance tidbit and everything. Everything was going on. You know what I mean? I think the rebuttal is against people like Chris Broussard, Rob Parker, Skip Bayless, all these parasites in the media, man, that back then they didn't prop up Mike like this. We knew Mike was that dude, but they didn't prop him up like this to the point where they diminished his teammates. Everybody got the credit. Scotty got the credit. I'm talking about back in the 90s when the media was more sophisticated and everything. Scotty got his props. Horace got his props. Even John Paxson was valued in that equation. But now you got these clowns, starting with Skip Bayless and Stephen A. second place, that destroyed. That's what I'm talking about. I said that,
brother.
Yeah, second place. They said Skip Bayless, Rob Parker, Stephen A. Smith, beginning in the late 2000s, early 2010s, destroyed the infrastructure of the sports media. Now everybody got clown takes. Everybody got hot takes. You see it here on YouTube and you see it here in the media, man. I don't even take these cats seriously no more, man. There's no more Mike Lupikas. There's no more William Rodens. There's no more Dick Shaps. Back then, everybody was judged accordingly. Now it's like any other great that comes along and trying to establish their own legacy, they don't stack up to Mike. That's the problem. And you go see this continue long after LeBron retires. Straight up.
Well, you made a great point, Blue Boat, because that's something that Chris Broussard and them was saying about how Michael Jordan's popular. Most people don't want to hear this. They had to go to Australia because no one's going to really go to Australia to find out anything. So they used the popularity conversation about how Michael is just too popular to even say anything. And if you do say anything that we don't like, we're going to call it slander.
And this is no knock on Mike at all. This ain't no knock on Mike at all. It's just that the people that's in his corner, man, that's popping up to this be like this godlike figure. Even Mike said himself, I failed over and over again in my life. This is why I succeed. Now, as far as him and that personal thing with Scotty, I think something deeper is going on with that, as far as like some real personal shit is going on to the point where we really don't know nothing about what's going on. We were in that locker room back then, and a lot of stuff was going on. I'm not saying Jordan wasn't in the wrong. It was just some things that he could have scaled back on, man. I don't condone the punching of teammates, none of that stuff. That's some real high school bull crap. You know what I mean? It's just, it's crazy. It's just.
I got my theory on that. I got my theory on that, Blue Boat, and I'll give it to you after we let Boycott come up. But you made some great points, man. We appreciate you. They say you cooking in the comments. So what you said it was Stephen A. What? Stephen A. Second place. Second
place. That's
Hey, Blue Bolt, I need you to read the Bible for me in its entirety sometime, and then send that to me on tape. So
I'll do that. I'll make sure I do that for you.
You gotta say Papa was a Rolling Stone real quick.
Yeah, and God separated light from day. I mean, night from day. Boycott, it's your turn, man. So you got to follow this up. You usually drop bombs. What you got for us today, my brother? What's good?
So I'm gonna make a pretty disappointing list because I'm doing it based on best instead of greatest. Mm-hmm. So my top 10 is Tony Allen, Giannis, Mark Eaton, Draymond, Alonzo, LeBron, Rudy Gobert, Garnett, Duncan, and Wallace. So I'm making this list on best, not greatest. So it's not a lot of numbers involved. So the reason I put it is because I gave everybody that played what you can call positionless basketball a little bit, a higher grade during the 2000s. So that's why I have Giannis and everybody in there. But the people who hit huge marks like Mark Eaton, that actually made a big difference on the Utah Jazz's defense for a while when he was gone. He stayed. Alonzo, of course, the Miami Heat had a great defense in like '96, I believe it was. Duncan, of course, was the centerpiece of that defense. Wallace can guard any position. We all know that. So pretty much anybody that can guard any position, except maybe Mark Eaton, is in the list because I think that has more of an impact. I'm still thinking about AD, Anthony Davis. I might put him in there, and then I wanted to put Dwight because his defensive game evolved. LeBron, I think, was one of the first people to start positionless defense during that championship run with the Heat. So he's in there, and that's the list of the best defenders I think in the history of the NBA.
I think you brought up some great names. I don't know if you heard what he said, guys. We'll start with you, Brandon. We'll go down the line. He brought up Draymond Green, right? And he brought up Rudy Gobert, right? So how do those guys fit in the annals of great defenders of all time, including someone like a Shane Battier? Because a lot of people don't give Shane Battier credit for playing multiple defenders. He had to guard multiple defenders too, coming in the league and changing from guarding big men at the end of his career to guarding people like Kobe to start his career. So
he don't get no credit because he was on a team with LeBron.
No, it's just better. It's better
like
defenders he
unless he has.
Go ahead, Brandon. No, go Brandon.
Unless he has, they're all great defenders. Especially after 2010, they're like all great defenders. Most of them are defensive player of the year, or all defensive first team players. So it don't really bother me too much. Just like we said, LeBron for his career, there's not too many people rank what he has in his career. So I don't have really a problem with
this. B-Lee, what do you think about Garnett?
Go ahead, boy.
Garnett is like number 3 for me. Garnett is like number 3 for me. What do you think?
Garnett, Kevin Garnett's one of the greatest defenders of all time. I mean, he's great. Defensive player of the year. He controlled the defense. He's since 2000. He's definitely top 3. I'll be pretty sure to say top 3. Him, Dwight.
And I was thinking about Dwight.
2000. Like those two great.
So defensive player years of all defenses work for Kevin Garnett, but not for Jordan. Okay.
No, because
No, Kevin Garnett got the stats. Kevin Garnett has the stats. He does.
Because everyone can understand the common sense notion. Just because you get a media award don't automatically make you better at that thing.
That's the only thing.
Just because hold on. Craig, for example.
I'm just
recent
saying.
example.
I understand.
No, I give you a recent example. Marcus Smart won Defensive Player of the Year. Anthony Davis did it.
Saying.
Are you going to say Marcus Smart's a better defender than Anthony Davis?
But are you comparing Marcus Smart to a Jordan? That's what when y'all say stuff like that, that means you're saying.
No, it's a concept. For example,
I got this study right. So let me ask you this: Do you think?
So all I'm saying is
Craig, do you think
awards for everybody except Jordan? That's what I'm just.
Do you think Marcus Smart Defensive Player Award is equal to Michael Jordan's?
Yeah, because this is the most talent ever in the history of NBA. I say.
So how would you separate Michael Jordan from Marcus Smart if we weren't using Defensive Player of the Year?
So why would you bring up Marcus Smart in the first place?
No, somebody brought him up.
You bring it up.
It's just a concept.
The only thing that matters.
Yeah, who brought up Marcus Smart?
No, I did. Hold on, Craig. I brought up Marcus Smart to break down the concept of this. But Craig, I get it. I can adjust. So Craig, you understand. Even though Michael Jordan won Defensive Player of the Year, is he a better defender than Scotty Pippen?
But what I'm saying is when someone uses it and when you say you can't use it because when someone uses it for Jordan and it's a push.
Somebody got a baby.
Who said we can't use it? Who said we can't use it?
That's the
who said we can't use it?
She's allowed to tear up the whole show. She's allowed to tear up the whole show. She got some words.
All right, Craig. But who said that we can't use Defensive Player of the Year?
All I'm saying is there's always pushback when you mention Defensive Player of the Year and defensive awards with Jordan. There's never no pushback with nobody else.
No, Craig, I get what you're saying, Craig. Craig, I get what you're saying, but this is the thing. You guys want to make Michael Jordan a top 10 defender of all time.
Rewind this show and see when I said Jordan was a top 10 defender.
Okay, not you, could Travis, because you remember you and Travis you guys don't take one for the team. But okay, listen. So most people have him as a top 10 defender of all time because of that Defensive Player of the Year award. But a lot of people won't put Dikembe Mutombo, Rudy Gobert, Ben Wallace, and Dwight Howard in the top 10, even though those guys have the most Defensive Player of the Year awards in NBA history. So it's really
something defensive that Jordan did that they haven't done. No, we didn't even have some warrant.
Yeah, we didn't bring up Rudy Gobert. That's why I'm asking about that right now, because the players that Boycott mentioned was like Rudy Gobert. He mentioned Draymond Green. He mentioned guys like Giannis.
I don't have no problem with y'all want to use defensive selections and defensive player with for other players, but it's never no pushback when y'all use it for the other players. When Jordan's
I just want to say that
it's a media award. Oh, they gave it to him. Oh
no, Craig. Craig, I brought this up because I'm being consistent. I don't. When I judge a defensive player, I don't care about a media accolade. I really don't care because I understand, one, the media don't do a good job of breaking down defense, let alone understanding defense. So why do I rely on their opinion to tell me who's a better defender?
Yeah,
period. That's why I don't.
But also, what Sturdy stated his top 10 was different than what Boycott brought up. Remember, y'all, Boycott has a criteria: best and greatest. When he's talking best, it's not using the tangible measurements. He said he gave more praise to players who played in today's NBA because they have to be more versatile. So that's why he had the names that he listed, and that's why I wanted to talk about that, because there are some players that he named that would fall in line with players like Tony Allen and Bruce Bowens and other guys that you guys mentioned like Dennis Rodman, because not only what they did on the floor with our eye test, but because of such things like the accolades. So when we're talking about Rudy Gobert, who has 5 or 6 or 7 all defensive teams and 3 defensive player of the year, he counts. I think Giannis has 2 defensive player of the years, right? Or 1?
No, he got one. He got 2 MVPs.
Yeah, that's true. Draymond got a defensive player of the year, right? All these guys have 5 or more all defensive selections for their career, 6 or more. Guys like Paul George, Jimmy Butler. How do they fit in the annals of this conversation? Because again, they have the accolades, plus they have the eye test, which, you know what I'm saying, that we're all trying to use to be to degrade our defense people, because we all know that's a part of defensive grading. So that's why I brought up what Boycott said, because I thought the names he brought up were kind of good to fit in what we were talking about, because we all talked about the same guys, but those guys are up there as well. Draymond Green, Like he said, the names that he mentioned in his top 10 list. But we have King Fly and Benjamin is back again, so we're gonna give them a chance to speak, gentlemen. You guys are all doing great. Thank you guys, everybody in the comments. Thank you for everybody that's watching our show. Again, this is the GOAT James Kingdom Show. We go live every Sunday noon to talk basketball and to talk basketball objectively and correctly, and allow people to speak and give their takes. So let's let King Fly in first. King Money Fly, what's good, bruh? What do you got for us on this topic?
Was good. First off, I want to touch on something when y'all was talking about versatility. I think versatility can be more impactful depending on the situation, right? So, like you said, Hakeem couldn't guard nobody outside the power forward and center. So Brown would be a greater impact defender because he can guard a Derrick Rose. You understand what I'm saying? He can go guard a Kawhi Leonard. He can go get your power forward. He can probably guard some centers, not all of them, but he can guard some of them to contain them, to make them change up their shot. So I disagree when Buddy said the versatility really don't have no impact. It does. That makes it even better. And in a sense, like I said, situational. Not every game, but this situational. Then, about the documentary, I just felt like, yet again, Jordan's so selfish. He want all the glory, like I always tell people, that he's trying to make it seem like he did it all by himself by throwing all his teammates on the bus. And it was supposed to be about the Bulls. I thought it was called Chicago Bulls, not Chicago Jordan. But when you talk about Jordan, that's all he talk about with the Bulls. He talk about nobody else. All he talk about is MJ. So like that work got the initiating the fire going with the Stephen S. Smith and all them other guys, because they like, okay, they pushing it, so we gonna push it on a bigger, abroad, make everybody start influence people. Like, yeah, he did it all by himself, and it's like, and anybody outside of him, they not allowed to have teammates. Like, they like to give, they like to downplay Jordan teammates, but then they like to uplift, LeBron's, oh, he had all this help and all this. But it's like, that's what they get paid to do. Everybody get paid millions to play basketball. So, hey, if he got it going, let him get it going. Jordan didn't want nobody to get it going. And if you did got it going, the next game, you wasn't looking like that. I promise you that. I can bring up Clyde Hedges when he stayed in one time in the playoffs. The man shot 20 field goals that game when he dropped 20-some points. Don't you know the next game, he barely shot like 10 field goals? You know what I mean? So it's like he have an issue in the spotlight, and that's the documentary like that. Like I was telling somebody earlier, it was like, well, they had the chance to look at it. When it comes to the final production, like my man AJ was saying, they not going to send it to everybody. You're going to see it on the premiere. So when it came to the final edit, Jordan had the last say so what to put in, and what not. And like you say, they chop up interviews. So like they should have a problem with how you got them viewed. You know what I mean? So, but that's how I feel about it.
I want to say, the people I have in here that are from the 90s and 80s, it may sound confusing, but it's because I look at people like Horace Grant and the impact of him leaving, switching to the Magic, and instantly changing the Magic to a good defensive team, and then the Bulls turning to like not a bad but like a mediocre defensive team, shows that the big men during that era were the dominant force, right? So they have to get credit for defending the greatest players at that time. That's why they're on my best list, like Alonzo and Mark Eaton.
Don't be scared to say the Bulls was a bad defensive team in '95 after they lost Horace Grant, because they really were.
They absolutely
really
were.
Yeah. That was their weak point. They was bad defensively in '95 after they lost Horace Grant.
They couldn't rebound.
Horace Grant go to Orlando. They go straight to the finals that same year.
And he didn't make the all-defensive team that year. Twin Man, you was going to say something?
I mean, but King John, what you mean? They got Jordan. Jordan can guard,
Jordan wasn't there in '95. Remember, Jordan didn't come until the end of the season.
Let me talk mess. I'm trolling. Can I troll?
Okay.
I got you.
Wait. I
got you.
The year that Jordan left, I forgot to say, it was the year that Jordan left, the Bulls improved defensively. It was the Horace Grant leaving that actually messed them up. I just want to clear that up. Yeah.
That's what I was talking about.
All right, listen, we're not going to use no stats to back that up. So, Benjamin, thanks for joining the platform. You hear what we're talking. It's your turn to speak. You are an MJ delegate to a certain degree. What is it you got for us today, sir?
What's up? Let's see. Neither LeBron nor Jordan are top 10 defenders of all time. I disagree with the whole...
Give us your list of top 10, too, then.
I don't have one like set in stone, but just off the top of my head, I say like Hakeem, Russell, Robinson, Draymond.
It's gonna be all big
Gobert.
men. It'll be all big men.
It's gonna be primarily big men.
So, are there any perimeter players you think would be in the top 10?
Maybe Scotty. Maybe.
Scotty. So it's rare you're gonna put a perimeter player in the top 10. Okay, all right. So we got you there. So go ahead, continue. Sorry. Go ahead.
I'll just say I'm pretty much in agreement with that. Like, it's big men do impact the game more, so I agree with most people on that. I'm not a big fan of the whole like when like compare defensive players, like just rattling off like, oh, defensive box plus minus, defensive rating, win shares, all that. Not that those don't matter, but a lot of those are heavily team based. Like defensive rating, for example, you can go look it up. Monty Ginobili got a better defensive rating than LeBron and MJ, and that's just because he was on great defensive Spurs team. So it's not saying stats don't matter, but it's a lot of noise in it.
Stats. Yeah.
Hold on, boycott. Let him finish, and then you can ask the question afterwards. Go ahead, Benjamin.
Last thing, longevity matters, but like, I'm not a big fan of the whole, well, LeBron's this top 2 in steals, top 2 in whatever, blocks or whatever, or he's top 10 in all of them, because theoretically it could be a bum player that plays 40 seasons and he could end up top 10 in those numbers and never be a good defender. Like, if I was to do
what player is in the top 5 that was just played a long time that's not good?
Top 5 of what? Like steals?
Any stat.
I mean, what are the stats? How high is Allen Iverson on steals? How high is he in steals?
I'm pretty sure he's not top 10. He's not top 10.
Okay, he's not top 10. I have to see a list to like.
Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna give you the top 10. Okay, top 10 steals players of all time: Stockton, Jason Kidd, Chris Paul, Michael Jordan, Gary Payton, Maurice Cheeks, Scottie Pippen, LeBron James, Clyde Drexler, then Hakeem Olajuwon. If we count the ABA, Dr. J jumps into the top 10. So out of those players there that you see there, right? LeBron James is top 10 there. Oh, first of all, I had to go to playoffs to be honest with you, but that's top 10. LeBron James is the only player to play 20 seasons, but John Stockton played 19. Chris Paul is playing 18, if I'm correct, or on 17. No, 19 seasons.
It should. He should be a year under LeBron.
Yeah, Hakeem Olajuwon played 17 seasons. Scottie Pippen's played 17 seasons. Gary Payton's played 16, 17 seasons. Jordan's played 15 seasons. Jason Kidd's played 17 seasons. So all of these players have longevity.
Yeah, there's no one stat that says a bum who played 40 years. There's no such thing.
Exactly.
Like that narrative that if you play 60 years, you're going to be top 10. There's no such thing. There's no such thing.
A bum in the top 10 in any category.
You might not be top 10, but it depends on how far you go back.
So like in the playoffs, so if we go to the playoffs, right, we know LeBron has the most playoff games. LeBron's number 1 in steals. Scottie Pippen is 2nd. Michael Jordan's 3rd. Magic Johnson is 4th. Stockton is 5th. Kobe Bryant is 6th. Jason Kidd is 7th. Larry Bird is 8th. Maurice Cheeks. Manu Ginobili is 10th.
Bum.
So we're gonna say Manu Ginobili would represent a bum player because he played.
He's not a bum player. He was solid, but
playoff games. So he played a lot of playoff games. So he did. I think.
That would be a better example, I guess.
Yeah, top 10 or something.
Chris Paul is better than half that list.
Huh?
We gotta stop trying to make that be a bad thing.
No, so can I clarify my position? So I'm not saying like being top. Like when I see longevity especially in terms of defense, I would look at it like this. Okay, LeBron played how many seasons? What, this 21st season he's on?
He's on 21st season.
Not about how
the
many
way
seasons
I would.
By the way, let him talk to him, man. Let him talk to him, man. Let him talk. Let him cook.
So I would look at it like this. So okay, he played 21 seasons. Out of those seasons, how would I rank him as a defender? Each of those, like, let's just give a hypothetical. Let's say like he's an elite defender for 8 seasons. He's a very good defender for 5 seasons. He was an average defender for 5 seasons. That's kind of how I view the longevity, as opposed to, well, you just racking up totals and steals, because steals, again, on its own doesn't mean you're a good defender. That's what I'm saying. That's how I would view it, as opposed to just,
so
well,
how
he's
do we
top.
Use longevity for every player and break it down. Just like
same principle for all of them.
So when we go look at defensive rebounds, because LeBron James is number 1 defensive rebounds in the playoffs. So it's him as number 1. Tim Duncan's right behind him. Shaquille O'Neal. These are guys who all played 17 years plus. Karl Malone played 19 years. Larry Bird is the oddball here, but he played a lot of playoff games because Larry Bird was in the playoff, I believe, every year of his career. And he went finals runs a lot. And then you have Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, played a lot of years. Dirk Nowitzki, Kevin Garnett played a lot of years. Robert Parrish played a lot of years. And Kevin Durant rounds off the top 10, who also is on his 15th, 16th season, who's looking to play another 2 or 3 seasons. So again, all of these numbers doesn't necessarily show longevity. They show how great you are as a player, because all these guys are great. There's no bums on these lists.
Quick question,
That's what I'm saying.
Well, in that aspect, what did you say? Kevin Durant was 10th or something?
Kevin Durant was 10th in playoff of all time, but I believe Kevin Durant's played a lot of playoff games as well. He's played well over.
Yes, he plays.
So
he's been playing for a while.
All those guys that you mentioned, though, right?
Argument has always been a narrative-based argument.
He's played 100. He's played 100. He's played 160. He's played 166 games. Let's let Travis speak. Go ahead, Travis.
Let Travis. Go ahead, Travis.
So, Johnny, like all those guys, I'm pretty sure that you mentioned, though. I don't know. Maybe with the exception of Dirk, all those guys, right, have on a per game basis, though, higher defensive rebounds and rebounds in general than LeBron James, correct?
We can go to the top 10 in
rebounds. Yeah, hold up, Travis. Is this just the playoffs?
No, what I just did now was the playoffs, because that's what you talked about.
Playoffs, and you did defensive rebounds, right? Travis, who you think has more defensive rebounds per game, Rodman or LeBron James?
Probably LeBron James.
Why?
You mean total or per game?
Per game.
Because Dennis Rodman made his bones primarily on the offensive side of the board.
So you would say he wasn't a good defensive rebounder, or he was just.
He was good. He was good, but again, we're talking about the question was, what's better? Just like playing for 20 years and racking those up again, just because you're there, or having more of an impact on every single time you step on the floor.
Okay. So basically,
wait. I'm gonna do this. No, because you remember they quote unquote stated you can have a lot of rebounds to be a bum. Again, I know you clarified that, but Travis is trying to double down on it, right? We gave y'all the top 10 for all time steals, right? We showed you there was no bums
and just those names you mentioned.
I know. We mentioned there was no bums there, right? We showed that.
No
right?
bums.
There was
no bums.
No bums. All right. So all time steals in the playoffs. Number 1 is Baron Davis. Are we going to call Baron Davis one of the greatest defenders of all time? Is he anywhere near a great defender? He's a bum on the defensive side. If we really want
I see that look, Travis. I see
that. I don't think he's a bum, but I get what you're saying.
Okay. No, we know Maurice Cheeks was an elite defender. We know Maurice Cheeks was an elite defender. Then Rick Barry. All right. Can we say Rick Barry was due to the pace of play, or we just
Magic was a bomb defensively, and he's 4th all time.
No, I mean, I'm going to keep going down the list.
That's actually a great example.
That's a great one.
We got Mookie Blaylock. Now, Mookie Blaylock was a great defender. I don't know if we could call him a bum on the defensive side.
Not at all.
We got Walt Frazier. Walt Frazier was definitely not a bum.
Great defender.
Isaiah Thomas.
Better than Stockton.
Is Isaiah Thomas an elite defender?
No,
not at all.
No,
he's top 10. He's top 10 in playoffs. He actually averages more steals per game in the playoffs than Michael Jordan, who is right behind Isaiah Thomas at 7th. Then we got AI. Now here's where we get a bum. Who is Sam Lacey, and why is he top 10 in steals per game all time in playoffs?
How many games played?
Hold on, Johnny. Sam Lacey was a good role player. Not doing
it. A good role player would be considered a bum. Remember, Scotty Pippen's a role player, he's a bum. Luke Longley's a role player, he's a bum. Horace Grant is a role player, he's a bum.
Y'all call him plum? I don't want to get
Wait, whoa.
It's more about being a bum in that aspect.
Y'all go around and call them plumbers and electricians, and it's okay.
All right. Sam Lacey.
No. Jordan was playing against crackheads. There's a difference.
Yeah, listen. Sam Lacey played in the NBA in 1970 was his debut. So he began in 1970 with the Cincinnati Royals. He was a 5th overall pick in the 5th round. That's a bum. He played 1,000 NBA games. But hold on, though. He almost averaged a triple-double. He averaged 10 points and 9.7 rebounds per game.
Cab driver.
Not cab driver.
All right.
Delivery boy.
He was a center, right? He was 6'10", 235 pounds. He had a 1.5 blocks per game for his career, 1.3 steals per game for his career. His totals are 1,100 blocks and just 1 steal away from 1,000 steals. So is Sam Lacey a bum or not?
Sound like he's too tall to be a cab driver.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go. Let's go to career all time for the regular season, which is gonna even get more shady. Let's get this now. Remember, we when we did totals, we didn't find no bumps. We got Alvin Robertson, right? For his time in space, he was considered a great defender. Michael Ray Richardson, same thing. For a short span, he was a great defender. Then it's Michael Jordan, is third all time. Then Mookie Blaylock, we all agree. Then here's where we get questionable: is Fat Lever a elite defender, or is he a bum?
No, he was a good defender. He was a good defender. He wasn't.
Decent.
I wouldn't say he's elite, but he was a good defender.
Okay. Yeah, he played point guard. His first NBA season was 1982. He averages over 2 steals per game, which makes him top 10 of all time for his career. He never led the league in steals, so he never did that. His highest season was 2.7, and he made one all-defensive team.
Just one? Wow.
Yeah.
Competition. He couldn't beat out his competition, right?
Just one. Nice, 1988. So he's not. All right. So Fat Lever's not a bum. He is 5th all time in steals per game. What about Slick Watts?
You got me there.
He played.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah,
He has the best name in NBA
I went
history.
blind there. I went blind there.
With a name like Slick, he sounded like he was a plumber.
I'm gonna change my
Hey, no,
screen.
listen,
talking about old
anybody
Slick Watts?
just listen. Go look up Slick Watts. This guy looks like Bonzi Wells. He has the headband. He looks cool as hell. Go look at this guy. He looks real cool. He debuted in 1973. Huh?
Hey, Johnny,
only played
has a
400
plumber or mechanic. With a
He
name
only
like
played
Slick,
400.
he's a
I'm
plumber
changing my name to Slick Watts.
But hold on. Well, wait a minute. But hold on. Now, Donald Earl Watts, which was known as Slick Watts, had won the assist title and the steals title in the same NBA season, and he made the All-Defensive Team in 1976.
I'm very
But
John
he-
Stockton of him.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
he
not a
only
bum.
played-
That's not a
Yeah, he's not a bum. He only played 400 games in his NBA career. He played He only played 6 NBA seasons. He averaged 2.2 steals per game, and he only made one All-Defensive Team, which was 1976. But he led the league in steals that year, and he also led the league in assists. And played
we
all
agree
82
his sample
games.
size wise.
Yeah, plumber was his
Well,
name.
he still had to get those steals and he still had to get those averages, but his sample size is so small per game.
Yeah, 6 seasons in the 70s. That was actually decent longevity back then.
But does he validate that points that per game actually proves us up more than the totals? Because he would be the problem here. Because after that, you got John Stockton, Allen Iverson, Maurice Cheeks, then Chris Paul. So everybody outside of basically, you guys gave Fat Lever the push. It's Slick Watts and Sam Lacey. But we didn't find nobody for totals when we went to playoffs as far as steals go.
Well, here's another kind of juxtapose to that, Johnny. Because
Okay, go ahead.
if you look at the top, like we're talking about right now, like the totals for all-time steals leaders as far as, let's say, the playoffs. LeBron, let's say Magic Johnson, right? How many years did he play? Like 12.
Is he a bum though? Is Magic Johnson a bum?
No, he's not a
Magic
bum.
was-
But he has 358 steals, right, in the postseason. LeBron has only 471, despite playing 8 more seasons than Magic Johnson.
Yeah, Magic averaged almost 2 steals per game in the playoffs though.
Yeah. So at what point do we say
That's better than the regular
there's
season?
some bums
equal.
on the totals list, but were they more impactful on a game-to-game basis on a given night? That's the question.
But that doesn't mean they were more impactful because
No, not
some people
more-
have.
no,
Not
not
that
just-
game in there, don't you?
Not just
Yeah,
You
that-
really want
not
to
just using
squeeze
steals.
that in there, don't you, Travis?
Yeah.
That doesn't mean he was more impactful on a game-to-game basis because some people
Not at
play their last 3 to 4 years and they're not impactful at all. So it's not
No,
a game-to-game basis.
Yeah.
The
I'm not saying-
longevity
I'm not saying
shows that
steals
you
are the
were-
end-all be-all.
Well,
But I
okay,
said this
but-
on Friday Night
But wait,
Exposure.
let me ask you this though. But let me ask you this, Travis. What is a more understanding of Magic Johnson's true defense? Him being top 10 in steals per game, or him being 23rd all time in steals per game? I mean,
Well,
steals
again-
in total steals, because he's 23rd in total steals.
Yeah, he's 23rd in total steals because, again, he only played like 12 seasons, like 11 fully healthy ones, right?
But that's
And
what I'm
so,
saying.
like,
But that's
there's
what I'm
a lot
saying.
of context.
Which one would prove where he stands? Because if you say he's a top 10 steals, a top 10 player in steals because of his
Yeah,
steals
I'm
per
saying Magic
game,
Johnson, I can say
that
Magic
doesn't equate
Johnson
to
was-
what he does.
Sure,
That's what
I
I'm
can say
saying.
Magic
Not at all.
Johnson was excellent in steals, but a subpar defender. Both things can be true.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
No,
But him being 23rd in steals all time would kind of say, okay, well, look, he wasn't a bad defender, but he was good enough to get steals. That actually correlates to his actual career for real than him being top 10 in steals per game. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I mean,
Go ahead,
you can
Sturdy.
also
Go
say
ahead,
there's
Sturdy.
like what 3,000 NBA players like Dylan that have ever
Because
played.
he was a 6'9" point guard. There was no 6'9" guards. Point guards he had to guard. Of course, he's
He
still
played the passing
Yeah.
lanes well. He played the
Yeah.
passing lane. He wasn't stealing the ball. He wasn't robbing
Well,
dudes.
Magic
But again,
didn't guard
it's
his
just like
position either.
yeah, and
Yeah.
it's just like I can say that the best big men's like okay, just because they average blocks, whatever, doesn't make them the best ever. Is Hakeem the best defensive big man of all time? You can argue that, although
definitely
it
argue
probably might be either Will.
I mean, we
or
can do the
Bill.
same. We can do the same with
Definitely
blocks,
argue.
right? Because if we look at totals for blocks, right? Totals for blocks for NBA career regular season, it's Hakeem, Dikembe, Kareem, Mark Eaton, Tim Duncan, David Robinson, Patrick Ewing, Shaquille O'Neal, Tree Rollins, and Robert Parrish. So now the two bums would be considered Tree Rollins and Robert Parrish.
No, remember Hakeem's also top 5 at his position in steals per game as well. So
No,
he's
I
a
know
good-
that. We're gonna do both.
What's hold on? Can I ask Trevor this obvious question? What's up with you in this position thing? Like, I don't get it. Like you understand? You
We
understand?
have to validate Jordan.
Like I don't. No, what do you mean? How you gonna measure?
You're trying to wedge somebody.
You're gonna compare.
Oh, wait,
you're
hold on.
gonna
You
say-
can't. Hey, wait. You can't ask somebody a question and not let him answer. Travis, answer the
Yeah,
question.
yeah.
What's your thing about the positional ranking?
Because I think positional ranking first and foremost is more important. Like especially when you're comparing players, like you got to do it by the position, like who excelled. That's a little bit more genuine than comparing them straight up as far as if we're doing stats. Like you're not going to compare Chris Paul's stats to Hakeem's and say, oh, Hakeem Olajuwon is less than Chris Paul because no, you got to compare who they were as far as their position goes, and then you can start comparing like average their rankings like that, and like then you can start using things like analytics to compare overall impact, things like that. But it's very hard to compare them straight up in two different positions unless what are you using?
Okay, Travis. There's so many ways to break down that flawed argument. But I'm gonna try with this one, right? How many great defenders would you say? Do you think there's more great defenders in the power forward position or the shooting guard position?
So you'd have to say great defenders all time. Again, what
Yes.
metrics are you using?
No. I'm saying you watch the. No. The facts I'm using is observative, right? When you watch the game of basketball, how many teams, how many times would you say the more impactful defenders are at the power forward position or the shooting guard position?
It really depends. I mean, there's been great defenders on both
Is
positions.
Travis, stop trying to finesse it, bro. When you rank anybody, hold on, all right, let's do. Hold on, he likes the resume guy. When you look up majority of the defensive player of the years, when you look up majority of the all defensive first teams, when you look up majority of the defensive player of the year votes, what position gets the least amount of votes historically? Let's do that.
Shooting guard.
Yeah, I just want to say, Carl Anthony Towns is the best 3-point shooting.
No, wait. Resume accolades don't mean anything now, Travis. So
Jordan Study, we're not gonna let you go back and forth with Travis today, please, sir.
No, it's not back and forth. I thought I was asking clarification questions. That's all.
No, because again, the argument is, or the discussion is not necessarily the argument. The discussion is how Benjamin stated about longevity and how totals is a little bit misleading because if you play more, that can lead to you being in the top 10. And he showed how that basically leads to somebody not being considered great in the top 10. And that's why we were going down the top 10 list. So when we went down the per game averages for career-wise, we did notice that there were some players that we wouldn't call top 10 players of all time in certain in defense. So that was the whole premise of the whole thing. Now what Travis is doing is he's trying to use positional to show how dominant Jordan is by his position compared to other players. And you're right, Sturdy, when you're doing that, it's not fair because Jordan has least competition. And we've proved that in other facets of of conversations because they like to do that because again, the shooting guard position is actually the
weakest.
Yeah, it's the weakest of all positions when we're talking about greatness, to be honest with you. So, but let's let Ishmael show up because Ishmael is here. Thank you for joining us. You hear the conversation. We were talking to No Bulls and the documentary, and obviously we're talking defense. So, what is your take today, sir?
I think that as far as like in terms of like totals, I think it's pretty easy to understand. Like most players, the great players, in the NBA, the greatest players of all time have longevity. Like you're not going to be a great player and be able to play for a long time because I think the average span for an NBA career is like 6 years. So
5
totals
years.
are, or yeah, see around that somewhere, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and so totals are a more honest depiction of the greatest players of all time. And you can't play you cannot play as long as you can, not an elite level and not be there. Like Vince Carter and Robert Parrish and many other players are an example of the fact that just because you play for a long time does not mean you're just going to pile up on stats and be better than people. I mean, Michael Jordan has played a shorter career than Vince Carter, and then there are other players as well that's played shorter careers, but still lead them over in totals in certain statistical categories in those totals. So it's very easy to see that. Like when you talk about points per game, Kobe Bryant is not even in the top 10. Allen Iverson is better than him. George Gervin is better than him. Oscar Robertson is better than him. Uh, Damian Lillard is better than him. So are we going to say all these players are better scorers than Kobe Bryant? Kobe Bryant is the top five for totals for a reason. It's because he's great. He's one of the greatest scorers of all time. And so we can't
Look
just
at
say that. Like I would never call an NBA player a bum, because I've been around basketball culture and many basketball players, and it's even really difficult to play in the Division 1, really play in Division 1 college basketball. But no, nobody is playing 40 years. Like these type of statements are like very they're just not in
Vague.
terms of reality. You
Yeah.
can't just make abstract statements like that and make it seem like someone's going to play 20 years and they're going to pass Kevin Durant if they score 10 points a game or something like that. Like that's not going to happen. And it also in terms of the no bull thing, I think it's just kind of hilarious. It's just some entertainment. And I think that if some players want to come out and say more side to their story, that's fine because today's players are saying more to their story in terms of the podcast and in terms of making their own, saying what they feel their truths. And they said their truths about LeBron James as well. So I don't see the reason why they can't say the same thing about Jordan and their experiences with the Bulls as well. So it's vice versa. If they could do it regarding LeBron, why can't they do it with Jordan? So yeah.
Yeah. Great
Basically.
take
I
there.
did have a question.
That's a great
Hold on,
take.
hold on, boycott. Just to add up on this, just to sum this up, total, so we can move on to some better discussion. The idea that totals help players who play longer does have an advantage, but what I think is misleading in the whole conversation is that players who played shorter careers have more an advantage in the actual per game averages. So that's why we can get players like Slick Watts in the discussion
The
of all
GOAT.
time. Guys like Albert Robertson, Michael Ray Richardson. Even when we go to blocks per game, guys like Elmore Smith is top 5 all time in blocks per game because he only played 560 games for his NBA career. So he doesn't. You understand what I'm saying? When we have these type of players, George Watson is top 10 in blocks per game. He played 900 games. If these guys played longer, their averages definitely are going to go down and their totals will go up. So there is an advantage and a disadvantage in both aspects of it, but greatness is more or less, you can see the greatness in the totals, especially when we're looking at the top 10 list. So
And
I know
if we're talking about all time, we're going to use totals anyways.
Oh,
We're not going to use averages.
I wanted to add,
Like,
I don't know about LeBron James being in the top 10 defenders of all time, but I do think he is definitely top 10 when it comes to two-way players, when it comes to offense and defense. So, yeah, the defense side for top 10 is going to be more dominant for big men. But, when you come to two-way players, I definitely do believe LeBron is probably like top 5 or top 10.
So, somebody just said, King Mufasa Red said, average NBA career is 4.5 years, so longevity applies after 4.5 years. Somebody else wrote, I believe after 10 years, longevity should apply in any sport. I think if you played over 1,000 games, that's where longevity applies in basketball. But one thing I can say about this, everybody here, everybody made some great takes about defense. One thing we know about defense is that that's probably the only aspect of basketball that doesn't necessarily have to be talked objectively. Being subjective and using things that can't be measured is a part of defense for some reason, because there's just things in defense we can't measure. We know PJ Tucker's a great defender. We know Kobe was a great defender. We know Dennis Rodman was a great defender. But there's really no stats that say this. You know what I mean? But, you know, like I said, Tony Allen, great defender. Derek McKee, great defender. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these guys, Nate McMillan, great defender. But we don't have really stats to help us validate that. But we know that they were great on the defensive side of the ball. So that's why the whole defensive conversation could be, you know, a great conversation. It can go back and forth for a while. But you guys all did great, man. And thanks for you guys for being good panelists for us here. This is actually great.
You got to look at it this way. Is it easier to make a basket at the as close as possible? You know, the perimeter finish, just the defending 3-point line. I mean, now it's going to be more prevalent because of the 3-point shot. But back in the day, nobody choosing the
but you're still right, and I think we all agree that the rim protector is probably the most important defender. I think we all agree that, right? I don't think nobody disagrees here.
By
right?
far.
Right? Yeah. So I mean, that's like in football. That's like in football. We all know the defensive line is the most important defensive thing, right? You know, like that's going to help you go by far.
But it's
that was my question too. With
yeah, go ahead. Hold on, Ishmael. Hold on. Go ahead, Boycott, because you wanted to speak. Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead, Boycott.
For Benjamin Franklin, because you came in and you said that most of your list is just going to be big men, right? And I think throughout the majority of NBA history, that is a great argument until today, right? So I was talking about how Horace Grant leaving the Bulls completely made their defense mid. But it was a similar thing with LeBron James, because when he was on the Heat, the defense was in the top 10, floating around the top 10 until he left, and they jumped from 11th to 25th. They dropped in defensive rating from 11th to 25th, and they allowed less points by like 0.1, but their defensive rating kind of plummeted. See, so I think today's defender that is versatile, that can guard multiple positions, like even like Ben Wallace and all that stuff like that, I think they're more valuable than a Mark Eaton, than an Alonzo Mourning. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, they have the stats to back it up too.
What you're saying, I understand what you're saying, because like you said, in today's NBA, it's positionless basketball. So you have a lot of big men who can pull up from the perimeter. You need that versatile defender to be able to rim protect, but be able to sit in the chair and switch on to that shooting guard or that elite point guard and be able to stop them. So I honestly agree with Boycott when he says versatility, especially in today's NBA, should be seen as elite, because it's not like you're going to be versatile and you're going to be a bum. If you're versatile and a bum, who really cares? But if you're versatile and you can actually shut down in your prime, and even though I hate to use that word, prime or peak, shut down 1 through 4, that's elite. And you can do it for multiple years. That's elite. That puts you in the top 10.
I mean, LeBron is the most effective versatile defender we ever seen.
Let's let Benjamin come in, because that was addressed to Benjamin. Go ahead, Benjamin, and then
I actually agree with most of what he said, but to piggyback off that, the ones that do the versatility the best are the big men. Kevin Garnett, for example. Yeah, LeBron is very.
Let him talk, guys. Let him speak. Go ahead.
You said Kevin Garnett can't guard the perimeter?
He cannot guard a point guard. He can't guard a point guard, but come on, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Not as good as LeBron, but that's what I'm saying. If you can get a 6'11" guy that can basically switch on all positions, that's what you go for. The versatile big guys like Anthony Davis, for example. That's why I think Anthony Davis has a possibility to be a top 10 defender of all time, depending on his health. If you could get a 6'10", 6'11" guy that could do it all, as great as Scotty and LeBron are versatility, you'll take them over, 6'8", 6'7" guy.
Yeah, but I think what I want to add to this is that I don't think I want to necessarily knock players that were in the 90s and in the 1900s, because they didn't really have the responsibility to guard outside of the paint. Like, they just didn't have that responsibility. Today's NBA guys actually have to. So they actually have to learn to do that. So they put that as a part of their game. How elite they are at it is still questionable. I wouldn't argue Anthony Davis and some of the players you guys mentioned, like Kevin Garnett, who also did the same thing. He played in an era where he had to come out further from the paint. Because that's the thing. Guys like Hakeem didn't have to really come outside of the paint. Guys like Tim Duncan, Wilt Chamberlain, they didn't necessarily have to get too far away from the paint to guard their man or to be effective on defense. And I don't want to knock them for that. But like Brandon said, though, LeBron is a little bit different because LeBron is actually capable of doing it, and they've added it to do it. It wasn't like they needed LeBron to do it. It was the fact that LeBron can do it that they did.
LeBron is very effective doing it. I don't know what other player you guys can name that's as effective as LeBron can guard in all 5 positions.
Well, I mean,
Is there a player?
there's really no
Well,
besides
the
him
five
playing
guard
Carmelo.
position thing. The
LeBron can guard
position
5.
thing.
He's guarding 5. Hold on. So you're saying LeBron James cannot guard 5s?
No,
I mean,
not actually skilled.
Like you have to like
consistently.
it has to be
consistently.
No, it has to be Rudy Gobert type of 5.
I got you. Name the center that Jordan faced in the finals that LeBron James could not effectively guard.
I'm not a Jordan fan. I'm not saying Jordan or anything like that.
I'm just saying. Name
Can I name any big man?
I think Charles Barkley and Carmelo would get him in foul trouble. Not saying they're going to average 40 or
He can't guard.
Name a center and that Michael Jordan played in the finals that LeBron cannot effectively guard.
You can't.
Why are we going with Michael Jordan? What?
Just name it. I don't even know what Mike Jordan has to do with it.
I didn't say anything about it. No, I didn't say anything. No, I do have something to say. I don't have nothing. What does Michael Jordan?
I'm not just talking to you. I'm just not talking to you. Name a center that LeBron played in the finals that LeBron could not effectively guard.
I think Carmelo would give him problems. I think.
Carmelo's not a center. Carmelo's not a center.
Oh, you're just saying specifically center. I thought you meant like big man. Okay, you mean specifically center. Okay, just 5.
So Shaq. Okay,
I don't remember him playing a good 5.
Okay. Shaq did not play Jordan in the finals.
But just to respond, I could give the easy response.
Why are you guys going to centers that nobody can stop?
I can give the easy response. There weren't. He didn't really play a great center in the final, so like it's like a mute point. It's like, LeBron can guard Rudy Gobert.
LeBron can effectively guard centers because you're just saying that the centers Jordan faced were not dominant.
No, in the finals.
The playoffs is
finals is like 6 times. There's way more teams than
that's 6. That means there's 6 different centers that LeBron can guard.
LeBron couldn't guard.
I didn't say. We specifically said he can't guard scoring centers.
No one can guard scoring centers. No one can guard scoring centers.
Who will guard David Robinson? Who can stop David Robinson from scoring?
Hakeem. Yes, he did. Hey, Johnny, you want to go to the stats? You want to go to the stats?
What would Hakeem Olajuwon hold David Robinson to? Points per game. How many?
What did
points per game or efficiency? Hold on. Hey, Brandon.
Yeah, because efficiency matters.
Efficiency what determines because we branded efficiency is what determines how well you did defensively. That will really determine because you want to get the shot at it.
Will Hakeem Olajuwon hold David Robinson to? Simple question.
I got you right now. I know I want to be accurate, so let me give you the basic numbers. No problem. I have no problem.
Right here.
So you mean
I have it here. I have it. He averaged 20
weird
points.
argument.
He averaged 20. Wait, David Robinson averaged 20 points per game. David Robinson averaged 20 points per game, 11 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, 3 blocks versus Hakeem Olajuwon. Where did he stop David Robinson at?
On what percentage?
Oh, hold on. Is that 20?
How often were they guarding each other?
Hey, Johnny, rebranded. Is that 20 points per game indicative of who David Robinson was? Or is that lesser?
David Robinson averaged like 22 points per game for his career, 21 points per game for his
career.
So
lesser. That's just for average. That's
not shutting him. That's not shutting him down.
Extra basket. Okay.
No. Once again, what's the efficiency?
Okay. All right. We get you.
Efficiency.
We get you.
Hold on. I'm gonna go to efficiency. Oh wait, I'm gonna go to efficiency. Hold on. Let me see if I can find the efficiency for that because they don't give me because I'm on Land of Basketball and to get the head-to-head.
I have it right here.
What is their efficiency versus each other?
Okay. So I'm talking about we're talking about playoff series, right?
No, we're talking about them. You can't just bring up how many times they play each other in the playoffs. Only 6 times. You're gonna use 6 games.
I mean, we're talking about who can LeBron guard and the Jordan face in the
Oh
finals.
no,
I mean, that's
you're
not
saying that LeBron can guard these players because other players could shut these players down. If Hakeem
Wait a minute.
Olajuwon could shut David Robinson down, that's basically what you're saying.
No, Hakeem Olajuwon. Wait, David Robinson game high versus Hakeem Olajuwon 40 points. Game high rebounds 19. Game
Yes,
high
game high.
assists,
Yes,
7.
he's a great player,
Yeah.
Johnny. Great players
So
to have a game.
No,
That's a game high.
No, that is against it. Matter of fact, in the games that they
Yes.
played against, in the games that they played each other, David Robinson had more games where he had more rebounds. He had more games where he had more assists. He had more games where he had more steals.
So
No,
I have the
that's not
numbers
what
in
we're
front of
talking
me.
about. That's not what we're
He
talking about,
shot 48.8% from the field against Hakeem. David Robinson shot 51.8% for his career. So minus 3% efficiency against Hakeem.
That's not stopping him, though. Again, that's not stopping him.
You're
That's
not
what I'm
going to
saying.
hold a star to like 5 points. No one is saying that.
And thank you. It's the same thing with LeBron. It's the same thing with LeBron. That's what we're trying to tell you.
Well, then at that point, Michael Jordan can guard centers if we're making that argument.
Y'all replied by saying who was the centers that LeBron guarded in the finals. That's not indicative. That's not accurate. That's definitely I'm saying specifically. LeBron has to, bro. He's too small to guard number one option.
Yes, he doesn't have the length.
Option
He doesn't have the length to play the
Like,
five.
it's just that simple.
He
It's
would have
not.
never at the five if he did. That's why they don't.
There's rarely any.
Wallace is much stronger and much better rebounder than LeBron.
Did I take first and second option? Yes or no?
Listen, guys. You guys did not state none of this. You guys said LeBron can't guard a 5. You didn't say a guard that was a.
I clarified. I literally clarified.
Of course you had to clarify because that's not our point. Our point is that LeBron James is an elite center stopper. We said that he can guard centers. Can LeBron guard Nurkic?
Hell no. Jokic, right? You saying Jokic?
I said Nurkic.
I mean, you could put a shooting guard on Nurkic. He's not gonna like demand the ball.
No, a shooting guard is not. You're not gonna put a shooting guard on Nurkic.
Not the whole game. You can in stretches. You actually can.
He was scored.
I've seen it. I've literally seen it.
Okay, let's do this. Draymond Green shut down. What's his name? Draymond Green shut down. Give me a second.
Don't give Draymond Green. The league is scared of him.
Draymond's a better defender than LeBron.
All right.
Yeah, with the longer wingspan.
He's smaller than LeBron.
Wow.
He has a longer wingspan. I didn't say height.
He's not better defender than LeBron.
Okay, all right. Vujacic. Can LeBron guard Vujacic? Nikola Vujacic.
No.
Can guard?
What you mean by guard? What's your standard for guard, hey Johnny? What's your standard for guard? I think you're taking it literal.
Meaning that I can put him on him and he's not going to dominate. Meaning that he's not going to be at a disadvantage.
Yeah, we disagree.
I'll phrase it this way: LeBron compared to defensive centers, he would do worse.
Jonas Valanciunas. Can LeBron guard Valanciunas?
Yes.
Valanciunas?
Can LeBron guard Jared Allen?
It would be a lot more help compared to a normal center.
Can LeBron guard Jared Allen?
Yes.
Can LeBron guard Clint Capella?
Yes. These are non-offensive bigs.
Can LeBron guard
role players.
They're not. These are all starters. These are all starters.
Scoring threats.
Hey Johnny, that's not what I said. I didn't say he couldn't guard starting bigs. I said he couldn't guard first or second option scoring bigs. That's what I said.
We never said that LeBron could guard first, second option bigs. We told you LeBron could guard 5s.
I didn't say y'all did. But that's what I said. We have a different degree of interpretation of guarding.
Okay. I'm gonna keep going.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to.
Can LeBron guard Jalen Duren?
Yeah.
Jalen Duren? Yes, he can.
Jalen Duren from Detroit. Duren.
Yeah. Well, he's on the Mavs now, right?
Is he on the Mavs? No, he's still in Detroit.
Oh, he's still in Detroit. My bad. Other center.
Yeah, I mean that's what references. Okay. Can he guard Nick Claxton? Can he guard Nick Claxton?
Yes, he can guard Nick Claxton.
Can he guard Mitchell Robinson or Hartenstein in New York?
Yes.
Yes. You're going to get killed on the boards, though.
Can he
guard? That's what you're forgetting that, too.
No, nobody's saying that. Again, they're going to get their boards, but we're talking about can LeBron guard them. LeBron's going to get his boards, too. They're not going to stop LeBron from getting his boards. Again, can LeBron guard Zubac?
Zubac would give him problems.
I actually seen Zubac give him problems.
Zubac would give him problems.
He's a little bigger.
He would just jump hook right over him, and you have to double a lot more.
Okay, can LeBron guard DeAndre Ayton?
Yes.
I think
DeAndre
AIM
Ayton
gave him
just so
problems. Matter of
soft.
fact, I've seen
Soft,
AIM give him
man.
problems when
Okay.
he ran the five.
Can LeBron guard Miles Turner?
No.
I think
No.
you do decent at Miles Turner because he mostly just stands outside. So I think he
Miles
do fine
Turner's
against him.
is not a aggressive scorer.
Yeah, he do fine against him.
Okay, can LeBron guard Kevin Looney?
Yeah.
Anyone can guard him.
But see,
Only problem is just getting him off the glass. He's not a scorer. We're naming non-scorers.
No.
Again,
nobody can stop a scorer. Nobody can stop a scorer. We have
down
We have
scorers.
guys. Listen, and LeBron will slow those guys down as well. Like he slowed down Tim Duncan.
disagree.
Like he slowed down Kevin Garnett. Like he slowed down a lot of players.
No, he switched them for like 2 possessions. When he was on them, they were doubling off the ball and everything.
He played center.
Switching the guy for 2 possessions is not locking them down.
Most other playoffs, when Chris Bosh was hurt. When Chris Bosh was hurt, LeBron guarded Kevin Garnett most of the playoff series.
In 2022, LeBron played over 50 games as the center of the team. He did not.
And their defense was abysmal during that stretch.
Not because of
I've seen the advanced
analytics. Not because of centers. You can't blame that on centers.
Protection. That's the point. It's lack of paint protection. That's
that
the thing.
rim pressure, that paint protection is not there when he's on the court. It's not about just his man. It's the help defense. It's everything.
They have rim protection. They have Anthony Davis for rim protection. LeBron James is not a big man.
He was out during that stretch. He was out during that stretch.
At least for the Lakers.
LeBron would run the 5 if AD was there.
LeBron James got to guard like Jokic or Embiid. That's the argument you're trying to make.
It's all of
LeBron is effective guarding this.
We're clarifying the difference. We're just clarifying the difference in degree of guarding. That's all we're doing.
Okay. Oh wait. In 2002 and 2022, LeBron was second in blocks on the Lakers roster. Okay. If we go to, let's go to advanced analytics. Okay, hold on. Let's go to the advanced analytics.
Remember, blocks is not the same as rim protection. Remember.
Again, it's not. It is protecting the rim if I'm blocking shots.
It's a part of it.
No, it's part of it, but
there
it's
are
not.
great shot blockers
you can get a block shot.
rim protectors, like Miles Turner.
You literally get a block shot without even the shot being in paint. Like
there's guys who just hunt for blocks, who get out of position because they're hunting for them, like Miles Turner.
Like Derek White, for example, Derek White is great at getting blocks, but majority of his blocks is what the shot is coming up. He's not meeting guys at the top. He's not rim protecting. That's what I'm saying. Like we don't know what a block is. Like, we all know what a block is, Johnny. Like, come on, man.
Okay. Well, listen, you guys are the one who brought up LeBron James couldn't guard these guys. He played a whole position at center, and now you're not telling me how.
Yes, like I say that I keep the same. I keep the same. But no, I keep the same logic for when people say, "Oh, Magic Johnson can play center." No, like he started.
Okay, out of the players who played over 50 games with the Lakers that year, which Anthony Davis didn't do that, LeBron James has the second best defensive rating on the Lakers that year.
Yes, they were riddled with injuries that year, Johnny. I know what year you're talking
about. But that's my point. LeBron was
what year is this?
To play. This is 2022. LeBron was considered a center.
That's the West.
He was center. He's playing center for the whole season. He averaged over 10 rebounds. He averaged over 10 rebounds per game. I'm sorry. I'm looking at per 100 possession. I'm sorry.
When he played center, it was like 12 boards a game when he played center.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, great rebounding. His blocks went up. The rim protection was abysmal. We have advanced analytics on that.
Wait. No, what analytics? Bring it up. Where's the analytics? Please bring it up.
Let me go check.
Does he have to shut someone down in order to be known as a center?
The team's defensive rating. I'm not talking about, he got a couple more rebounds. No one's talking about that.
I'm saying.
But team defensive rating has nothing to do with LeBron's interior defense. You can't blame the Lakers' total defensive rating on LeBron's interior defense. You can't do that.
He's a part of it. He's a part of it.
No, the team is a part of it. That's why he says it's a team stat. Bring up where he does on stat.
Him at the center compared to Anthony Davis, it's night and day.
I will bring it up.
Of course, it's going to be night and day.
Of course, Anthony Davis is a better center.
Which is why he's not a great center defender. Thank you for proving my point.
We didn't say he was best of all time. We're saying that he's effective playing the center position on defense.
No one said that. No one
said
that.
And that's what we disagree because it's just the responsibilities for defensive to be a center. LeBron can't endure some of those most of those responsibilities needed. primarily due to his size, bro. Like he's not
Okay,
big enough to
Sturdy,
do
can I
some of
ask you
those
a question?
responsibilities.
I mean, if
Yeah.
you guys are talking about Barkley was a great defensive center, why can't LeBron be?
Who said Barkley
Charles
was?
Barkley
Hell
was
no.
No,
not
Barkley
a
Dennis
good
wasn't a
defender
good
Rodman.
at
Dennis
all.
Rodman.
Defender.
Dennis Rodman is 6'5", 220. Does not have that. He was able to stick Shaq. He was able to be. Y'all would say he was able to stick anybody.
I never said
Sturdy.
Shaq. I was against that notion that he could guard Shaq. I was always against that notion.
Yeah, I disagree with
What
that
was
too.
it? I think it was 2012. Joel Anthony is about the same size as LeBron James, and he was guarding centers. Is Joel Anthony a better defender than LeBron James at the center?
Thank
Hell
you.
no.
Size is not
So
going to
then,
prove the
so
point
then,
because
so
LeBron
then,
is
LeBron
strong.
James can guard centers.
Why you bring
then,
up Joel? Why you compare a bum to what?
Joel
He's
That's not what
still
Anthony, like
teammates.
that's the
That's his
argument.
Joel
teammates.
Anthony is a kid. Hey,
His
Johnny,
teammates.
no, that's how I know this is
Okay,
this
wait a
national
minute.
Johnny.
Wait.
Because Johnny seen Joel Anthony
Wait.
be a bum on the
Wait,
Heat.
listen.
brought up a good
Listen,
point,
wait,
bro.
listen, y'all.
He's-
Listen, y'all.
no
Listen,
NBA
y'all.
player is a bum,
Out of all
okay?
the players on the Laker roster in 2022, LeBron James had the best defensive field goal percentage on his roster.
Hey, Johnny.
That's playing center.
He's going to win with that variety of injuries, man. Like AD wasn't there, and now AJ. Look at the team construction.
Sturdy.
Bro.
And Sturdy, in the 40 games that Anthony Davis played in, his defensive field goal percentage was 43.8. In the 56 games that LeBron James played in, his defensive field goal percentage was 42.2. That means he played better defense than Anthony Davis. It doesn't matter how many games they played.
No, it means
Hey,
he
Johnny,
got
you serious?
less efficient
Hey,
players
yo, come on.
because he's a wing.
Come
So
on, bro.
therefore, that's why he's going to have a
Every center
lower
in the
defensive
league-
field goal percentage.
Is every center?
He
in
was
today's
center. He
game-
wasn't the point guard. You're saying
He
that the
didn't play
Lakers,
center as much as you think he is. That's what you're getting
Who
wrong.
was guarding the center in the Lakers when LeBron was the center? And it wasn't Anthony Davis. 'Cause
I
Anthony
don't
Davis doesn't
remember the
play
exact stretch. It was like, how many games was it? Like 20 something or something he played center. I don't remember the exact stretch, but I got to go look at the numbers.
Because I'm looking at the numbers. I'm looking at defensive the dashboard right now. Let me go. Let me
No,
see if I can
you're
find
just looking at when AD wasn't there. You're not looking at
Hold
it
on, wait, hold on,
exactly
hold on,
when he was
wait.
at center.
Hold on, wait. I'm gonna go under 6 feet. It's gonna go under 6 feet. Let's do this. It's gonna go under 6 feet now. It's gonna even.
No, I'm not talking about that.
Yeah, that's in the paint.
I get what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
No.
but I'm not
You're
talking
not, of
about
course,
that.
you're not talking about that because you don't want to talk stats. Let's bring up the stats.
I do want to talk stats. You can
Okay,
get emotional
let's
if
go.
you want. You're not proving
It's not
your point.
emotional. It's not emotional. Yeah, why do y'all say I'm
just
emotional?
saying,
Because I'm passionate.
Joel
Okay.
Anthony is not a better defender than LeBron James.
Okay.
but
Of course not.
All right, here we go. All right,
Okay,
here we
so
go.
then he
So
guarded
within-
centers.
So within
That don't mean he. What that supposed to mean? Dude, man.
I'm not saying you have to be.
Less than
They're not
6
saying you have to be an elite defender at the center position.
less than 6 feet.
No one said that either.
All right, less
So
than
LeBron
6
can
feet.
guard centers, but just saying.
Yeah,
that,
you're right. Just to say he can guard non-offensive centers. I agree. It's just that simple. Let's move on. Jesus Christ, man.
Well, hold up,
Hey, come on.
30. This is the disconnect, and this is what they've said. I've heard A. Johnny and B. Lee say this. You're not stopping an offensive center. Who's stopping Joel Embiid? Who's stopping Jokic? Who's stopping?
And I said this.
No one's sitting here saying LeBron James can stop them. We're just sitting here saying if you put him on a mid center, he can guard him. That's all.
Yes, but that's not special. That's not special. Any elite, any elite defensive wing have shown to do that.
Again,
elite
in
wing and start a
2022, within 6 feet of field goal percentage, LeBron James was better than Dwight Howard for the Lakers in 2022. He was better than Anthony Davis.
Dwight Howard barely played.
Oh yes, he was better. I'm sorry, he played more games than
He
LeBron
played more
James.
minutes. He played more games.
No.
There's a bunch of situations. Johnny, like, come on, bro.
Again, this
that's
is wait,
sample size.
Sturdy. Listen to what I'm telling you. This is the NBA showing you when everybody on the Laker team what they did when they guarded somebody who took a shot within 6 feet of the rim. This is what I'm telling you guys. This is why you guys don't like stats and why GOAT James Kingdom exists. Because
No,
you
I
guys
definitely
went to
understand the stats.
Oh wait. You guys don't want to use stats to understand what you're talking about. So when LeBron James was a center and had to guard centers for the majority of the 2022 season, he was better at protecting the rim than Anthony Davis and Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard gave up a defensive field goal percentage of 69% within 6 feet of the rim. Anthony Davis is way better at 56.6, but LeBron was at 54.3.
Hey Johnny, you
By the
missing
way,
so much
the
context
Lakers
when you
had
say
a
that.
worse defensive rating with LeBron compared to without him. They actually had a
We're
better
not
defensive rating
talking
without
about
LeBron.
defensive rating. We're talking about LeBron guarding the paint.
Yes,
I
that's
brought
the
up a
whole
stat.
point.
Until you guys can bring me a stat that shows LeBron James cannot guard the paint, everything you're saying is not going to matter here. I just brought up within 6 feet of the paint. That means that's within 6 feet, bro. That means that person took a shot right at the rim. LeBron was guarding them at that time. They shot a worse percentage than what you guys consider two better defenders than LeBron, Dwight Howard and Anthony Davis as big men.
Yeah, and I just can't once again, like Johnny. So due to context that we all know you're leaving
I
out.
can tell you the defensive
All
rating.
right, LeBron as a starting center that year, he averaged 37.3 points per game, 12.3 rebounds per game, and 2 blocks a game when he started as center in that 2022 year. Every game he started as center, that was his average. So if that's not
So offensively, we know he can blow by
and once
slow
again,
slenders guarding him. We know that.
Brandon, that's not
12
Okay,
rebounds.
Matter of fact, the NBA even give us the frequency rate. So that means LeBron James' frequency of guarding somebody in that position was 37% of the time. Where he had to guard somebody that took a shot within 6 feet. For Anthony Davis, it was 41%. So it's 4 more for Anthony Davis. For Dwight Howard, it was 35.7.
Hey Johnny, you're leaving out. Like I said, bro, it's just you're leaving out certain.
Were you saying they attack the rim more with LeBron?
Like I said,
I'm telling you that the moments that LeBron James had to guard somebody within 6 feet of the rim of them taking a shot, he was better than Anthony Davis and Dwight Howard, and we both know that he was playing their position. He was playing center for them. So that means he was guarding those guys there. That's what he was protecting the rim. Whether you want to say it was a perimeter player at that time, he still protected the rim better at that point than those two guys. It doesn't matter who was coming at the rim. He protected the rim better than they did. You guys said he wasn't a good rim protector as a center. The stats say he was.
Who's? All right, man. You like I said during that same year, we can leave out the context of the team's injuries and AD being injured. We can leave out the context for the stat, that stat that being tracked. It don't tells you about the other things or the other deterrents or the scheme of how he accumulated those stats. I understand that stat. I broke down that stat myself. Hey Johnny. Like I just said, for instance, there is context to every stat. For instance, that particular stat that don't tell you one, the situations where that occurred, and number two, where was the other defender, how they impacted the shot as well. So once again, we said it earlier. We said it. Hold on, hey John, you said it earlier. Defense on the side of the ball is actually a one side of the game that has a little more subjectivity and observation. So one stat is not indicative of what argument. And most importantly, that is not a consistent sample size for y'all to say he can guard centers. That's not enough games. Period. Just like y'all said it before.
He could effectively guard him. Now he's gonna shut him down.
Who said? I never said shut down on him. I never said that.
That's what y'all been saying. He cannot stop him.
I'm looking at the Lakers here. I'm looking at the Lakers here. I'm looking at the Lakers here. They even had let me see it. DeAndre Jordan somehow popped up in here from Philadelphia. He was 59% at defensive rating at 6 feet. Let me see some other centers that I can possibly pop up here so we can help you guys understand that this is. Let me just do that. Let me bring up. I'm listening. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm listening.
So just to respond, so I'm looking at the Lakers team defense as a whole. So it's not about who you're just guarding. It's not about, I was guarding this role player. I stopped him from driving. The Lakers as a team, which is the most important part about how their defense is. The Lakers were just better without LeBron. I'm looking at it right now. This is StatMuse. 113.6 defensive rating without LeBron compared to I think he said like 114.3, so slightly better without him. And you compare it to Anthony Davis, they had a 110 defensive rating with him compared to 117 without him. So just showing you the differences in defense.
Said LeBron was better than Anthony Davis at protecting.
But they got worse when he was on the court. Are you getting what I'm saying? The team defense was worse with LeBron.
They didn't get that much bad worse. And like you said, there's context to that because at the end of the day,
Agreed.
what is the league average? Again, I'm looking at the centers for. Hold on, wait. Let me for 2022 under the same predicament. Let's look at great guarding centered. All right, as an example. Jarrett Jackson Jr. is considered a great defender. His defensive field goal percentage is under 50% because he's great at protecting the rim. His goal, look at here. Nas Reed is another guy that's considered that. His is 53.6%. But the majority of the centers that I'm looking at here, who's played 80 games or most of the games here, and let me see if I can find a defensive center. JaVale McGee played 74 games, started 73 games. His is 51.8, just a little bit less than LeBron. Right? Kevin Love. Y'all say Kevin Love's not a great defender. It's 56% for Kevin Love. But Vujicic, it's 63%. Karl Anthony Towns, 61%. Valdrunas, 65%. Clint Capella, who's a great defender and rim protector, is 61%. Jokic is 62%. Steve Adams, 61%. These are all considered great defenders, and they allow more points by percentage-wise at the rim than LeBron did in 2022, and LeBron was playing center alongside these guys.
Yeah,
Well,
there's
some of
no
those guys,
way
I'm not going to say. I'm not
effective.
going to say
Yeah,
they're
there's
great.
no way to show it. Yeah, there's no way to show LeBron was not effective at playing center. There's no way to
besides
show
the fact that the team defense got worse with him, I mean, I guess not.
Yeah,
You're
because
talking
Yeah,
about
They just did.
there's no way to show it. There's no way to show
The team got worse with him on the court. The games without
There is
him.
a way to show it.
I mean,
we're going
No,
to disagree on the
that
motion.
doesn't-
That's
that
all.
doesn't-
LeBron's
that doesn't
effective playing
mean
center.
he
He's
wasn't
always been
effective.
I mean, think
He's
about that.
always
You're
been
that
effective
impactful of a
playing
defender, but the team gets better on defense without you. I mean,
Again,
NBA.
that happened.
Are you really
Wait,
going
that
to
happened with
explain-
Kawhi Leonard. Wait, that happened with Kawhi Leonard just, when he was in San Antonio. There was a point in time in San Antonio. Those same stats would say when Kawhi Leonard was off the floor, they were better defensively than when Kawhi Leonard was on the floor. Again, those are all metrics based off what time it is. So let's just say when LeBron's off
a
the
blowout
floor,
or something. Yeah.
it's not just a blowout. It's when they're playing against the second stringers. So that means it's a lot of second stringers on the floor. That's why LeBron's not on the floor. So during those possessions, the Lakers probably play better defense because they're not playing against the best teams. LeBron is on the floor with the best players. So that's what I'm trying to explain to you. So
I'm not even actually talking about on-off numbers. I'm actually not even talking about that. I'm talking about like literally the games he played versus the games he didn't play. I'm not even talking about on-off numbers.
Are those games also including with Anthony Davis? Like the games he didn't play? Are you saying
The majority of games he played center because Anthony Davis was out.
No, what he's saying
so
is
then
that
that's different.
Yeah, he's saying,
you know, 'cause
yeah,
of course
Anthony Davis
the
playing,
team
of
is
course,
going to be worse when Anthony Davis is not on the court. And
Yeah, you
compared
switch
to
out Anthony Davis for a much worse defender like LeBron, the Lakers defense suffers. Yes, we agree.
Right.
no
so
one
I
said
don't
that. No one
understand
said
your
that
logic.
he's LeBron is
Why do
guarding.
you keep saying that we think
Yeah,
LeBron is
why
better
you guys
than
keep
Anthony?
doing
Why
this?
you saying that? Like,
Why are you
what's
using
the point
that?
of that? He told you
There's
like
no
10
point.
times.
Worse.
That's not what we're saying. We're saying that he's effective playing center.
Your best defender on the team
Simple
is
as
not
that.
even playing. And then you have to have
No,
LeBron
he
James play
said
center.
LeBron
Yeah, effective
was,
on offense,
he was
I
saying
agree with
LeBron,
that.
He said LeBron was not.
Wait,
LeBron
y'all-
was not
y'all kinda
effective
changing
at
now.
rim
Y'all
protection.
changing.
No. He said
No one's
LeBron was not
changing.
effective at rim protection. The
He's
NBA
not.
stat said he was. He the league average is 60 for the big man, and he was under 60.
And hey, Johnny, I'm saying to determine a good rim protector is more than just that one thing. That's what I'm saying.
No,
We
how?
said it
Because-
earlier. We
hold
said
on,
it.
hold
We
on,
split. Hey, Johnny, you said it earlier.
Sturdy. Again, listen to what I'm telling you. What the stat that I'm bringing up for you guys is a stat that shows every shot a defender took on LeBron while he was guarding them within 6 feet. Under those positions, it doesn't matter how many blocks he had. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about their efficiency to actually score as a player versus LeBron. They shoot less than league average versus LeBron when it comes to big men. And that aspect of other big men. So that means LeBron James is just as effective as Clint Capella or any other big man in the game.
But by the way, the stat doesn't actually add on to the stat. The stat isn't.
You're adding way more to that. You're adding.
The stat isn't saying what he's. You're saying it's his defensive field goal percentage versus big men. That's not what it's saying. The stat does not say that.
No. Wait, listen.
No,
oh my God.
we're done talking about this shit. This shit is ridiculous. This shit is just ridiculous. Y'all going back and forth for nothing. We're not saying LeBron is the best defensive center in the world or ever. We're saying he's effective guarding centers. Simple as that.
Yeah, we agree. Some centers, non-offensive threat centers. We agree. Non-offensive threat centers.
He does a solid job at guarding 6 point per game score.
Center in the
I
history
agree.
of the game. There's every center in the history of the game. They're effective guarding centers who's not scoring. Jordan was very effective. Kobe was very effective guarding guards who couldn't score. That doesn't mean they're just trash because they could guard guards who cannot score.
No one's called them trash.
They're effective. They're effective. LeBron has been effective guarding all 5 positions.
Yeah, I'm saying there's the only way I can make you effective is under that scenario. If this guy's not offensive threat to score.
Okay, just to let you know this, Benjamin, I'm looking at the centers that we were talking about in the NBA, like Nurk 6 points per game. So unless you're telling me 12 points per game is not considered
It's obviously hypothetical. I'm not saying they're averaging 6 points.
Again, stop saying hypotheticals because we don't do hypotheticals. Don't be
hyperbole.
Be exact. Be exact.
That's no point.
Yeah, we don't do that.
Again, I mean, I brought up the defensive rating. Now y'all didn't like the stat, and I get it.
Again, we're not allowed to just say LeBron's a great defender without you guys making us go get stats. We can't just say shit. So don't do it yourself. If you guys don't let us do it, don't do it then. If we have to use stats to prove why we say LeBron can do something, that means you yourself have to do the same thing when you say he can't. Don't tell me he can't do something and just say it's hyperbole or any other nonsense words.
I said the 6 points per game is hyperbole. Obviously, if a guy averages 7.
That is wrong. We don't do that. I can't just say LeBron can guard centers because you guys are making me go down
and it's
the
wrong
list.
you saying the Lakers he was an effective center defender because they got worse as a team with him at center. So you're wrong too. It's okay.
False. That is false because I showed you his stats that he played good defensively.
You're just showing me his defensive field goal percentage around the rim. That you now you added on to that what he did versus center. You're adding on to that.
Benjamin. I am showing you that LeBron protected the rim better than Anthony Davis and Dwight Howard, who you think are better rim protectors than LeBron in 2022. That's what I showed you.
Again, you're adding on to that. That's not what the stat says.
That's what the stat says.
No, the stat says defensive field goal percentage around the rim. It doesn't say who's attacking, how. You're adding on to that. I'm not adding on to the defensive rating.
He's protecting the rim. It don't matter. He's protecting the rim.
It actually does matter. Yes, it does.
So are you saying only centers block centers? Is that what you're saying? Only centers block centers. Is that what you're saying? Yes or no?
Nice straw man.
If that's not a yes, you can just shut up.
Nice straw man.
Is center only blocking centers?
He said strong.
Okay,
very nice straw man. Good one.
Brandon, we've had a great show.
When we don't have a counter, we got to go to the strong man. I get it.
Brandon, are we done, Brandon? Can we go?
Oldest logical fallacy ever.
Brandon, mute this man so we can get up out of here. Are we ready to go, Brandon? Are we ready to get out the show, Brandon? Okay, listen, ladies and gentlemen. This was a great show, but this is why, again, y'all can see why GOAT James Kingdom exists. Because like I've always told you guys, we cannot talk about LeBron James without being factual in every sense of the conversation. We are forced to know more about basketball than the people who claim that they can talk basketball with us. It is not my fault that you guys can't use stats to explain your takes. Brandon and I use stats because stats explain our takes. We don't just say stuff just to say stuff. If LeBron couldn't guard centers, we would say LeBron can't guard centers. We have no initiative to say he can do such other than the stats and what we saw with our eyes. But this is why we're GOAT James Kingdom. We changed the narrative when it comes to talking basketball. And that's our point. Our point is to actually talk basketball. Not people's feelings, not what people think, not what people claim that they saw, but what the stats tell us. Because again, there is a stat for everything we need to know about a basketball player. And when we're talking about LeBron James, we're going to always use the stats because people are always going to deny LeBron James's greatness because of their feelings and eye test. So today was a great show. We want to thank everybody for joining us here. The panel was great. You guys all gave us some great takes. It got a little bit left because we're talking defense. That's what happens when you talk defense. But again, we are the GOAT James Kingdom platform. You guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, become a member of the channel if you appreciate the way we talk basketball, because we will continually do this. And today was a lovely show. So we're going to get everybody get their last words in. We're going to start with you, Brandon, and then we'll let everybody get their last words in. Please be quick, y'all, so everybody can go on with their Sunday. So Brandon, any last words?
Travis, you go in first with your last words.
Hey, great show. The only thing I would say is sports talk only. Stay safe in the comments. Come on the show sometimes and get embarrassed, just like you're doing in the comments there if you want.
All right, Sturdy.
John Stock is not a top 5 point guard. In regards to this, there's aspects to like basketball, but there's aspects to the game where facts, simply put, the moral story is facts. There's facts in sports that not just detract numerically, especially when it comes to defense. There's important things like deterrence. The way box outs,
different man, a bunch of different nuances, communication that you can't track numerically, but that are very important, in especially when it comes to evaluating how great a defensive person is. But great show nonetheless.
Thank you,
All right,
Sturdy.
Twin Man.
Appreciate you.
Oh, it's my turn.
Yeah.
Oh, don't
Stop
act like you're
trolling
not
John
ready.
Stockton. Stop trolling John Stockton 30. I need you to stop. That's messed up, bro. John Stockton ain't do nothing to nobody. But all jokes aside, give it was a great show. I don't know why people say some of the things they say, but it's I love it. I love coming to the platform. I love this platform here. You can actually have actual basketball conversation. So, great show. Can't wait to do it. And I was looking for you, Benjamin, on Friday. Don't be scared of the ass whooping, bro. You can come talk to me.
I'm never, man, never.
You can come
All
talk to
right,
me. Don't be
boycott.
afraid.
Hold on, I'm gonna
All right.
address the you guys who want to debate one another because we got some solutions for you guys. But go ahead,
All right,
boycott.
boycott.
Yeah, I didn't have anything on center, but when LeBron played power forward about 50, I think it was about 50 games, 2013 to 14, he was top six in defensive player of the year voting, if that counts for anything. So it shows you can pretty much guard big men. If you want to switch big man and power forward and center and make it isolated, that's different. But it shows he can guard that position. That's all I have to say.
Great take. All right,
All right,
Benjamin.
Ishmael. Oh, go ahead,
Oh,
Benjamin. Go first.
no,
Hey,
Benjamin first.
appreciate
Go
y'all
ahead,
having
Benjamin.
me on. Hey, it gets heated, but hey, shit happens. Y'all come with y'all numbers, I come with mine, and that's how it is. It's not personal.
Yeah, no,
But
and
yeah,
trust me,
appreciate it.
trust me, Benjamin. It's not personal. We're
Oh, I
just
know.
talking basket. We're just talking basketball. But again, like we tell you guys, we're not allowed to be subjective, so we demand other people not be subjective as well. So go ahead, Ishmael, land it home for us, please, sir.
I appreciate being on the panel for the very first time. This is a great YouTube channel. I support it. Totals matter. LeBron James, the greatest NBA basketball player of all time. Thank you for having me. And that's it.
All right,
Yes, he is
well,
the greatest, Travis.
you got any last words, Brandon? Or are you good?
All right. Yeah, I know this conversation went towards defense and everything, and I know when LeBron played center 2022, basically when Anthony Davis was out, he averaged 37, 12.3, and 2 blocks a game, which was more across the board than Joel Embiid. This year, which Joel is having an amazing season. That's how great LeBron was, and when he played power forward with the Heat, he was great as well. MVP, Finals MVP, and everything. So LeBron is great defensively as a big man, as a power forward and a center, and we all know perimeter wise how great he was. I know a lot of people only look at LeBron James for what he did in the last 4 or 5 seasons with the Lakers, but LeBron had a great career prior. So y'all need to watch some of the film. So go ahead, Johnny.
Yeah. Again, it was a great conversation. And, obviously we don't want to talk too much about Michael Jordan and the Bulls tour too much because, like y'all said, we don't care about that, right? Nobody cares about degrading Michael Jordan's career because Scotty Pippen is mad. But it was great. The conversation. It was a great conversation, though, to talk about basketball. Like I said, that's what the GOAT James Kingdom is platform is for. We are not biased. We don't mind opposite views. We just want you to stand 10 toes down. Meaning, if you're going to say something, have something so that we can understand what you're talking about and express yourself. Now, as far as you guys going back and forth with one another, you guys have to understand we do have a large platform, so we can't let Sturdy go 1-1 with Travis for 5 minutes and then let Benjamin go with Twin Man for 5 minutes. But you can do that on on Friday Night Exposure. This is why I have Friday Night Exposure. I will be a perfect moderator for you guys if you want to come on Friday Night Exposure and hash out these little arguments you guys have with one another. I am more than open to give it to you guys. I know Friday night is supposed to be like a player night, but I don't think none of you guys are players. All of you guys are regular dudes who are always on basketball podcasts. So come on Friday night and we can have some debates, and I can see you guys debate each other. If you don't like that, because you don't like me, you can always go to FYF Sports Debate. A Sturdy runs part of that platform, and he can tell you are more than able to have a debate there if you want to have a debate, because they do debates as well on many different topics. And if you really are ready to put yourself in the fire, like I did last night, you can go there. But Friday Night Exposure is available for you. Like I said, I will give you guys the opportunity to speak and talk about basketball. So again, it was a great show. And I want to thank everybody for joining us. And you guys, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Check out the membership to become a member of GOAT James Kingdom. Again, y'all, we are the GOAT James Kingdom platform. I'm A. Johnny, the Exposer. We have Brandon, B. Lee, the sports analyst. Catch us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and also on Discord. And we'll catch you guys next week. Peace and blessings. This is GOAT James Kingdom. All right.